Ever have that one friend who loves something you know nothing about? Something you wish they could explain better? Well, this isn't that show. Welcome to Drunk Fandom, the show where we have a drunk person explain something they love to a sober friend who is clueless.
Drunk Fandom contains swears and other not safe for work content. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. The Fierce Ferrets do not condone excessive drinking, but if you do, please drink responsibly. Enjoy the show!
Hey everybody, welcome to Drunk Fandom, Episode 5, My Hero Absinthe. I'm Wombat Baron, and I'm joined here tonight by Gideon. You guys all know Gideon. And he is going to be explaining to me My Hero Academia. So, Gideon, what is it that you're drinking tonight?
A Cuba Libre, which is basically rum and Coca-Cola or Pepsi. I do not have a lime in there, though, and it makes me sad.
Yeah, that makes me sad, too.
But I'll be okay, because, you know what, I'm actually really excited about talking about this tonight.
I'm excited to hear about it.
Yeah, because I know you're not really the biggest anime person.
I'm not really. Very, very specific things.
Which,
otherwise.
you know, I know a lot of people like that, so it's okay, because I'm also like that, and if I'm into My Hero Academia and superhero shit, which I know you love superhero shit, this might be the thing for you to, like, try out.
Okay.
Alright, so what do you know about My Hero Academia?
Okay, so what I know about it is that it's like a school, and they're like superheroes and superhero Olympics, and that's all I know.
Okay. Alright, and what do you think it's about?
A bunch of people who discover that they have superpowers and they try to cheat at the Olympics.
Okay, so, well, My Hero Academia is actually relatively new. It's only been around for a couple of years.
Alright.
It's entering its third season, which is why I'm super excited to do this podcast. Ooh, that hit me. I did a couple of shots before this. Alright, so My Hero Academia takes place in a setting. Earth is, you know, the main focus. It is a parallel Earth. Mm-hmm. Parallel meaning kind of like it, but not really. Like, key differences. So, about 4 generations ago, one baby literally was like just glowing, and doctors were like, "Nurse, nurse, nurse, nurse. The fuck is this about?" And the nurse is like, "Donald, I know, like, you're the doctor, so why the fuck are you asking me?" And he's like, Maria, I understand that you're sad I'm not going to leave my wife for you, but you need to cut the fucking sass.
Okay, so you see, here's the problem with you explaining anything to me, sober or drunk. You sass so hard that sometimes I don't know if this is actually a thing that happens, or if this is you editorializing. And, like, it happens when I watch your streams, too. I could be watching it with my very own eyes, and you will say something that they very obviously didn't say, and I'll be like, wait a minute, is that what happened?
Did they? I can attest that maybe this conversation happened, but in the manga and anime it did not. So, this was the emergence of quirks. Now, if you're familiar with, like, Marvel or anything like that, you know, like, consider quirks like the X-Gene.
Okay, alright.
Quirks are literally caused by a little extra bone in your pinky or toe, or, like, your big toe, some toe on one of your feet. I don't remember.
Okay.
But basically, like, the human body over time evolved to develop superhuman abilities. You know, this kid was glowing. Other kids can, like, grow bat wings, dragon wings. Other kids can, like, shoot fire, ice.
Okay.
You know, other kids can, like, literally look at you and be like, hey, go get me a Slurpee, and they won't have a choice. They'll have to do it because of mind control powers. So, you know, that's a thing. So, okay, so what happened after this is everybody's freaking out because superhumans became a thing. And this universe is kind of like, it's really interesting to see because you know how like in X-Men the racism was like so prevalent? Be like,
Yeah.
I'm a politician and fuck that.
Yeah.
What, that's a human? No, it's not. It
Yeah,
shoots
and they had
lasers out of its eyes.
The bill and all
Yeah,
that
exactly.
stuff.
But in this setting, everybody has powers. Actually, by the time the story takes place, only like maybe 20% tops doesn't have a quirk. It's actually rarer to not have a quirk. However, it is illegal to use your quirk in public, no matter what. Even if you're trying to help someone, it's illegal unless you're licensed. And licensed quirk users are called heroes. So, superhero, because there are people who are, willing to break the law, and they're basically called villains and everything like that. So, now, I should stress that, some people have, like, minor quirks, like, oh, I can just levitate, like, keys and stuff. So, like, if I drop my keys and lift them up using my quirk, the cops aren't going to be like, hey, don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
You're under arrest. No, they people are really lax about it, like, especially for quirks like wings that can't really do much, like if a person's hovering, the cops are going to be like, you hover, boy. You hover, girl. You do you.
What
So
would
anyway.
your quirk be?
What would my quirk be?
Yeah.
Aside from sass?
Oh, no, never mind. You have yours.
Yeah. It's
Like,
something with charisma. I
Yeah.
feel like I would be a mind controller.
Okay.
Be like, hey, look at this.
I'd be able to make bitchin' toast. I don't even
That
eat
sounds like an
toast.
actual quirk, because some of the quirks that people do are weird, and I can't wait to get to some of the characters.
Yeah.
So, alright. The story takes place from the perspective of a guy named, I actually can't remember Japanese names, so it's really hard for me, so I'm going to be doing a lot of naming of just, like, stupid shit. Izuku Midoriya, who goes by Deku.
Okay.
There's a reason he's called Deku, and we'll get to it later on. Excuse me, I'm going to be doing that a lot. I've been having spiced rum. It's 100 proof.
Is it just as spicy in the burp as it was going down?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Alright, so it's about Deku, or Midoriya, who doesn't have a quirk. He's, like, part of the rare few. But all his life, he's wanted to be a hero.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not for, like, the wealth or the prestige. It's always to make the world a better place. Like, he is just the sweetest little crybaby fuck. And when I say crybaby, I mean, in the first fucking season, he is bullied to the point where he cries all the time.
Oh, no, that's
I know,
so
and you know what?
sad.
It's really empowering as a man to see a young boy cry when somebody... Because his bully was his childhood friend named Bakugo, a.k.a. Baku Fuckboy. Right? So Bakugo has bullied him his entire life ever since they were friends, and there's a reason for it. I'll get to it later, most likely. But because he didn't have a power, he's like, you quirkless loser. Everybody in class jokes around about him. Even the teacher doesn't give him any fucking respect. And, like, he just cries and is meek, and he raises his hand to answer a question, and everybody will just shut him down. And Bakugo, in the first fucking episode, actually tells him to kill himself. Because, yes. And I'm bringing this up because it's really important. Yeah, because a lot of people go, Bakugo is so cool. And in the manga, you get to see a little bit more about him and the growth of everything, but we haven't gotten to that point in the anime. And in the anime, he's still a fucking shit.
Yeah.
But there's a reason I bring this up, because I know it's a sensitive issue. But in the first episode, they're talking about who's going to go to UA. UA is the prestige superhero academy that trains the next generation of heroes, right? Right? And Midoriya wants to go to this school. It's his dream. Even though there's no rule saying that if you don't have a quirk, you can't be a hero. But it's kind of implied, there's no Batman in this universe. Everybody has a power. So what happens is, he takes his notebook full of notes, and Bakugo does, and he burns it because his powers are that the sweat in his hands contain nitroglycerin, and he can just combust them into an explosion. His power is actually really strong. So as much as I don't like Bakugo as a character, his power set is legit. He is powerful.
So he actually is a dumpster fire of a human.
He is a dumpster fire of a human being, yeah.
Okay.
He's more of a dumpster explosion that just is, the fire is a byproduct, but yeah. But he grabs his book, burns it, and throws it out. He's like, you should just kill yourself rather than fucking live this pathetic dream that you're never going to obtain. And I think so many people relate to Deku, because everybody I know has a dream and they want it to succeed, and even though. So what happens is, right, the thing that I brought up, the whole suicide thing, is Deku literally, after that point, grabs the book out of a koi fish pond, and he's upset and he's crying and everything. He's like, stupid Bakugo, like, what if I actually killed myself? What would you do then? You'd be in so much trouble if I did that. Right? And that's a really important thing, because they actually addressed that in the anime, and I thought that was really cool. And they addressed it in the manga, that, the talk of bullying is an issue. Yeah. So I don't like talking about this stuff on podcasts or stream or anything, but that was a really important moment to me that made this kind of, this anime manga real.
Oh, absolutely. Especially...
the fact that they didn't just ignore it, be like, oh, that Bakugo, he's such a kidder. No, the main character was like, what if I did it, you fuck?
Yeah.
What if I hurt myself because of your ridicule?
Because especially when you're a kid, you sometimes don't realize, even if you're saying something that horrible, when you're a kid, you sometimes don't realize that the things you say and do have lasting real-world effects. So good on them. And in the manga, you find out why he bullies Midoriya so much. And it kind of makes sense listen, it makes sense, but I'm not agreeing with it. Right. It just, I understand his mindset. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, at the beginning of this anime, I can't remember if it was before school, he sees this battle of, I can't remember the guy's name, it's so sad. I believe he's only been nicknamed Giant Villain. He stops in and he's writing in his notebook about, like, this giant villain and a superhero squad that's taking him down. Right? And what happens is he's moping around in the first episode. This is the arc the start that gets to it. And we're about to be introduced to my favorite fucking character. And let me tell you, he's like the Tyrion of this universe. Everybody loves him. If you don't love this character, you're not human and you get the fuck out of my stream. Okay? Alright. Because he's Christopher Sabat and I fucking love that man. Okay. Alright, so he's just walking home and he's upset and everything like that. And a villain, this blob thing, starts grabbing him and trying to, like, invade his body, like, blah, 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 blah. And, Midoriya thinks he's going to die. And he's like, this can't be how my life ends. I don't want it to end like this. And all of a sudden, I'm actually going to switch the music I'm listening to because, like, it's my favorite fucking character. I don't care. I love Deku. I commend you for being able to listen to music and do this at the same time. Thank you. Because I can't even do that sober. All right, I'm listening to the All Might theme. Okay. At this moment, when Midoriya thinks that everything is about to end, the world's greatest hero comes out under this underpass after grocery shopping. All Might. And All Might, if you look at my screen, you can see him. The hair is a symbol for peace. Okay. His hair is a symbol for peace. He is the world's greatest symbol of peace and justice! Right? Mm. And in one hit, he uses Detroit Smash. All of his moves are named after American states. I'm not joking. Okay. He is so Murica, it's not even funny. He's more Murica than Captain America, but in, like, every way better. Okay. Yes. So in one hit, he just obliterates this guy and puts him in a soda bottle. Like Exodia. And in the next episode, Deku wakes up and he looks at All Might, who is his hero. He's the reason he wanted to be a hero. So backtrack to Little Midoriya. They actually do this in the anime. When you see him watching YouTube of his favorite hero, and he's watched this video like 10,000 times. Mm-hmm. And this video is of All Might just saving a bunch of people, and he's like, never fear! All Might is here! Like, rhyming and shit. Oh, I love fucking Christopher Sabat's All Might. It's so great. It gets me pumped.
So All Might is the reason this kid wants to be a hero.
Yeah.
Because when All Might is there, he's always there with a smile, and that smile teaches you that everything is going to be okay. No matter how bad it seems, All Might is going to make sure that you're safe. And that's why Midoriya wants to be a hero, because All Might inspired him. So All Might, Midoriya finds out at a really young age, I can't be a hero. Are you crying? Because I cried when I saw this. It made me tear up.
I mean, my eyes might have gotten a little bit teary, but...
I know. Once you watch the anime, you're going to be like, I love Deku, fuck Bakugo. I don't even care. Everybody who ships them is fucking weird.
I definitely have pairs like that.
Right. So, right? But, he's the reason, right? And he found out at a really young age he's not going to have a quirk, and he's really depressed about it. And he looks at his mom, and he goes, Mom, can I still be a hero? And his mom doesn't know what to say because she's a mom. Which is also one of the greatest things, too. The mom in the younger scenes is really thin and in shape and young. Mm-hmm. And in the oldest scenes, she got shorter because people get shorter as they age. And she got fatter.
Oh my god, realism.
She's real. Yeah, no, she's thick mama, and everybody loves her.
Okay.
She's so sweet.
I shouldn't have done that because now my eye is going...
I know, it's such a good anime, Jack.
Okay.
I can't. Wombat, it's such a good anime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
Sorry. Why is my computer freezing? Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
Alright. So All Might is, she hugs her child and she's like crying with him and she's like, I'm sorry that you can't be a hero. It's my fault. You didn't get my quirk or your dad's quirk. His dad's out of the picture. We don't know anything about his dad.
Okay.
There's a lot of theories that his dad might actually be someone else because his dad has fire powers. And there's another character in the future who has fire powers, who has a dad who's a dick.
What's
so some
your
people
mom's
believe
quirk?
light levitation. Like she can levitate items.
Oh, okay.
Really minor. Like she can pick up like that cantrip that lets you pick up like items that weigh like 5 pounds. Yeah, exactly. So, he's like, no matter what, all these years he didn't think about giving up his dream until Bakugo told him to kill himself. And that changed. No, he didn't think about giving up on his dreams until meeting All Might. He meets All Might. All Might shoves this villain who's made of, like, goop. He's like a tentacle hentai villain. I know, super into it. I'm kinky, but whatever. So, he meets All Might, and he wakes up and he's like, All Might? And All Might is like, never fear, citizen. I have saved you. And now I have to take this perpetrator to jail. And he's like, wait, can I have your autograph? And he opens his book, and All Might has already signed it. And All Might is like, all right, citizen, amazing. I have to go. Remember, stay in school or some other bullshit. Yeah. And All Might jumps into the air.
Stay in school or some other bullshit.
All Might jumps into the air. And he looks down, and he sees Midoriya clutching his leg. He's like, wait! And his gums are flapping. He's like, I have so much I have to ask you! And he's like, kid, you have to let go! And he's like, if I let go now, I'm gonna die! And he's like, shit, you're right! Fuck! Alright, and he's like, he's trying to, like, make sure he's okay, and they land on a roof. And I know, it's so fucking great. This anime is just so fucking... From the first episode, I got fucking hooked. The second episode was like, Gideon, just get some popcorn and sit. You're not getting up. Mm-hmm. You're fucking done. I have all of the mangas already on my Kindle. I haven't read the latest manga because I've been so busy, so we're not going to talk about that. Okay. We're talking about the anime and the manga because they're basically the same.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we're having a Dragon Ball scenario where eventually the anime is going to... But they're doing the anime per year to match the manga, so... we might not get fuck-up filler. Oh. Because the filler in this anime is pretty good. Okay. Anywho, so All Might and him land on a building, and he's like, kid, what the fuck? And he's like, I'm sorry, you're my hero, and I have to ask you a question. I have to ask you, like, a ton of questions. It means the world to me. I'm sorry. I know it was dangerous, but I'm never going to get an opportunity like this again. And All Might, he's like, okay, it's okay. You're safe. That's all that matters. And, like, right as they're talking, All Might realizes his time is up. So All Might, and he'll explain this, All Might has this quirk, which gives him super strength, invulnerability, super speed, like all these amazing gifts. But at this point in his life, he can only use it for 3 hours a day. And he shrinks. Let me actually bring up a picture, All Might.
Yeah.
Because
I wanna see it.
when you see All Might...
Oh, I actually, on Instagram, I follow
This is
a
All Might,
cosplayer
yes.
who
Yes,
did
this
an
is
All Might crossplay. That was
this
really
is
great.
All Might in his form.
Yeah.
This is All Might when he's not puffed up and super juiced. He is thin and gangly and everything like that. So in the middle of this, All Might just kind of like shrinks, and like a puff of gas and everything like that. And
So
Midori's
he goes-
like, "What the fuck did you do to All Might?" And he's like, "Kid, relax."
So he goes from The Rock to Jason Mewes, essentially.
He goes to The Rock to basically me, yeah. So he goes to he shrinks down there, and he's like, "Kid, it's me." And he explains, 5 years ago, he was involved in a battle against a really dangerous enemy that left him really injured, that only allowed him to use his power for 3 hours a day. He shows him the scar. It's like this giant scar across his entire abdomen that basically, like, he's like, yeah, I can't really eat anything anymore. My stomach is shot. I'm like, I can't do this for much longer, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And Midoriya is like, he names a battle and he's like, holy shit, kid, you're a fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's good, but this battle never entered the news. I made sure of that. This was the battle against my greatest archenemy.
Yeah.
And no one knows who he is because he isn't around anymore.
So, you said that he kept it from the news. Is this a thing that he would do?
Oh, yes, All Might is basically the Superman of this world.
Okay.
He actually goes on talk shows and stuff like that. Like, people know him. He is the world's symbol of peace and hope. In fact, when he became onto the scene, crime dropped 70%. So heroes were a thing before this, but everything was problematic because the laws didn't catch up with this. And when All Might graduated UA, right, he made it his mission to make the world a safer place. And he did it.
So going to superhero school, real quick, before you continue.
Yeah.
Going to superhero school, that's the only way that you can get
Licensed by the
Get
government, yes.
licensed.
Even police
Okay.
aren't authorized to use their powers. The laws limited the powers because they didn't want people abusing it.
Yeah.
Only villains use their powers without a license,
Okay.
right? And it's actually brought up in the anime that humankind could have been further ahead into space at this point if they all just worked along, but there were 4 generations of strife trying to get it to where it is now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he goes to the kid and he's like, "Listen, I told you the whole story." And Midori goes, "Can I be a hero?" And All Might looks at him and he goes, "What's your quirk?" He goes, "I don't have a quirk. I never had a quirk and I'm never going to have a quirk. But I've only wanted to be a hero my entire life." And he looks at him and he goes, "You can't be a hero. I'm sorry. There's a lot of other jobs you can have that help people. Like, you could be a police officer. That's a fine job. But you need a quirk to be a hero, kid. I'm sorry." And that's at the moment where Midoriya gives up because his hero told him. Right? And, you know, they spread out and everything like that. Turns out All Might realized that during the jump where Midori was there, the bottle that he was holding the villain, sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. The bottle that was holding the villain managed to break off of his belt. The villain got free, and he's freaking out because he's at his limit. He's been 3 hours. He can't do his powers again. So, you know, later on, it turns out that Bakugo gets captured by this villain, and this villain is trying to possess him so he can use his powers. Think of kind of like the symbiote from Spider-Man,
Okay.
but it physically goes in you and tries to, like, mimic you like a puppet. And Bakugo is fighting and everything like that. And all the heroes in the area were like, "We gotta wait for someone who has a power that can counter this. Just do crowd control. Do crowd control. We can't get close to this. The kid's powers are off the charts." And All Might's in the crowd going like, "If only I could do something. I'm at my limit. I can't do anything."
Mm-hmm.
And there's Midoriya, who sees Bakugo. Despite him being a bully, he remembers all the fond memories of them being kids together and being friends. And he looks at no one helping him. And he runs in without thinking. and he runs in, and everybody's like, "What are you doing, kid?" He's like, "I don't fucking know!" And he just takes his bag and swings it at the guy's face and knocks his head in. And everybody's like, "What the fuck is this kid doing? He doesn't have a quirk!" And even Bakugo is like, "What are you doing, Deku, you useless fucking loser?" He goes, "I don't know, but I can't stand and watch you die."
The limit does not exist.
And right as this fucking villain is about to kill poor innocent Deku, a ray of hope comes in there. All Might, in all of his glory, past his limit, rushes in, punches this guy so hard it changes the fucking weather. It starts raining. And All Might looks to Midoriya, and he's bleeding from the lip. He just wipes it off. And he's like, "Don't worry, I have you." And, he saves the day, and he disappears from the spotlight, and everybody's going to Bakugo, be like, "You did good, man. You did good. Your powers are great. I can't wait. You go to UA or whatever school, you can get a license to sidekick with me, buddy." And everybody's looking at Deku and be like, "You dumb fuck! What the fuck? You don't have a power! You don't have a quirk, you shit! What the fuck were you thinking?" And so he's just kind of walking home, he's like, "Yeah, what did I do? My legs just fucking carried me. I didn't think." And while he's heading home, All Might appears. And he just, rushes in, and he flexes and everything like that. And then he coughs up blood and shrinks back to his regular form. So it's crazy. And he's like, "I'm sorry, kid. I was wrong. You can be a hero." In that moment, I didn't even do anything to help him, and I could have. It was evident that I could have. I could have pushed myself beyond the limit. And you inspired me to do that. And he goes, "Listen, it doesn't matter if you have a quirk. I didn't have a quirk either. But I got a quirk over time. And I made sure that I did what was best with it." I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember the exact dialogue. Yeah. And Midoriya just gets down on his knees and starts crying because his greatest hero, his idol, has basically confirmed that he can be a hero. And he goes, "If you would be okay, I've been searching for an apprentice. I want to train you to be the world's next symbol of peace and hope." And Midoriya just starts weeping. And All Might is like, "Kid, you gotta learn to stop crying so much. But you can be a hero." And then we get to the part where Midoriya, he's like, "Okay, if I'm gonna, my power can be transferred to people. But your body is not going to be able to handle it. You're weak and frail." So he brings him to this beach full of trash. He's like, "For years, this beach has been littered with trash, like refrigerators, cars, and everything." He's like, "We need to get you into shape. So for the next 9 months, we're going to do this All Might exercise routine, perfectly tailored to you, to make you be able to get ready for the UA Academy testing and accept my power." And so he has him, move a bunch of shit on the beach, literally carrying him. Right here, I'm going to show you a picture. All Might in his muscle form weighs, fucking 600 pounds, and he's carrying him. I know, it's fucking great. I know, it's great. So, over the next year, he's training harder and harder, and he collapses, and he's like, "Kid, this regiment's for you. What are you doing? You should be having no problem." And he realizes Midoriya's been pushing himself harder than the regiment. He goes, "If I have any chance of going to UA, if I have any chance of being the next symbol of peace and hope, I have to go above what you want of me." And All Might goes, "Shit, I didn't even think about how hard you're pushing yourself." And he picks him up and he's like, "It's okay. We'll up the ramp. We'll up it. You're going to get there. We're going to make sure you're the best." And at the end of the year, All Might walks to the beach one day, and he sees Midoriya on the last piece of fucking junk that's moved off the beach, screaming, muscular, and just, roaring in triumph. And All Might's like, "Holy shit, he did it!" And he was in, his not form, his not muscular form, and he just was like, "You did it!" And it went into the muscle form. It's so great. So, at this point, he goes to Midoriya, and Midoriya's like, "So how do we do this?" And he goes, "Eat my hair."
Is it like a Samson sort of thing? Like,
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
He needs to eat his DNA, and honestly, the hair is the least grossest part of this.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, right? There could have been other DNA he could have ate, and that would have been
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, we don't want any gold member type things going
Yeah,
on
no.
here. That's disgusting.
Especially with a minor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up
Oh,
top
that's
for
not what I
be-
was talking
Yeah,
about. I
no,
was
up
talking
top
about
for
the
not being
skin.
gross. My hand's here. My hand's near your head.
Oh.
Yeah, see? Like up top. Yeah, for not being gross. So he eats his hair, and he's like, I don't feel any different. He's like, it's gonna take some time, kid. Like, you gotta not be a millennial and, want instant gratification. You want incremental change.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this time, he goes to UA to do his entrance exam.
Yeah.
And in his entrance exam, he's like, I don't even have my fucking powers. What am I gonna do? And he meets a bunch of other classmates and stuff like that. And he gets... one of the coolest teachers gets introduced at this point, Present Mike, who literally has, like, the canary cry from Batman and stuff like that,
Okay.
So, like, he has, like, a loudspeaker on his voice. He's, like, a radio DJ and shit like that. But he also teaches at the academy.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about the test. Like, they're gonna have to break up robots and show their combat prowess. And he's like, I don't have a fucking power. What am I gonna do? So he goes to the oh, I forgot. At the beginning, a girl, he bumps into a girl and trips. And I ship them so hard. Araka.
Okay.
She trips, but, like, smacks him because he's about to fall. And just fucking, like, gravitates him. Anything she touches, she can control with gravity.
Mm-hmm.
The gravitational pull of it. So, she prevented him from tripping. And all he thought was, oh my god, I talked to a girl today. This is awesome.
So she can mess around with the gravity of anything she touches.
Mm-hmm.
So is that like a forever thing, or like only for a certain amount of time?
They never really talk about if it's a time limit, but basically
Okay.
until she's fucking done.
Okay.
And here's a picture of her. She's so fucking cute.
Aww.
Right? Like, everybody ships her and another girl, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I'm okay with your ships, but it's her and Midoriya, man.
Yeah.
They're together forever, man. It's happening. So anyway, so they get to the front of the test, and there's robots. It's like, yeah, there's going to be main robots, and there's going to be like one big thing that you just want to avoid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot to tell you, like, when All Might was talking to him, he literally said, "You know what makes a hero? That moment when, despite your powers, despite everything, you leap into action without thinking, and that's what you did. You were the only one there, without a quirk, without strength. You leapt into action to save someone, and that's what makes a hero." And, like, that just still, like, makes me fucking tear up, because it's so fucking true.
Someone needs to stop cutting onions in this room.
I know, it's so fucking gorgeous.
Oh my god.
I can't.
I can't with it.
Okay, so... And that's important because it gets to this part.
Fucking heart.
So during the exam, everybody is destroying robots and stuff like that. There's a bunch of kids. I'll go into them after this.
Yeah.
One of the characters that I really like is Ida. He has pistons on his calves, so he has like super speed.
Okay.
So like he literally.
Actual pistons?
Yeah.
On his
Yeah. Actual pistons.
Okay.
Right, and everybody's attacking these robots, and Midoriya doesn't even have one because he doesn't really know how to use his quirk.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then everybody turns and looks, and there's this giant fucking robot. Like, nobody's business. Like, this thing is, like, as big as a skyscraper.
Okay.
Like a scraper that skies.
A scraper that skies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And everybody's, like, running from it. And, like, including Ida, who's, like, this by the rules, by the book kind of guy. And he's looking at Midoriya, who's staring at it. And everybody looks at, and Araka, the girl that helped him before,
Yeah.
literally got trapped under some debris. So this thing is going to kill her.
Okay.
And Midoriya, without fucking hesitation, uses his power for the first time, leaps into the air, screams, Detroit Smash or whatever Smash it was, right? And fucking punches this thing and destroys it in one punch. And breaks his arm. And his legs. Because his body isn't used to it. Yeah. And he's at the size of a fucking skyscraper, and he just starts falling, and he goes, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Oh my god, oh my god, I'm gonna die. What did I just fucking do? I can't control this power. Oh my god, All Might chose me to be a successor, I'm gonna fucking die. And right as he's about to hit the ground, Araka bitch slaps him in the face and makes him hover. And then she lowers him to the ground and vomits. Because the longer she controls the powers, the more nauseous she gets.
Yeah.
That's her trade-off.
Okay.
And she just kind of like falls there, and Midoriya falls there with broken body. And everybody's like, that's a fucking lame quirk. Because it hurts him.
This poor dude.
And the school nurse recovery girl comes over and gives him a smooch and makes him feel better because it promotes healing, but only on the body's natural progression. And All Might's like, you did good, kid. You did good. And he's like, I didn't break any robots. He goes, it's gonna be okay, man. It's gonna be okay. And all the teachers is like, he didn't break any robots, but he's the only one who thought to save this fucking girl.
Yeah.
So it turns out at the UA exam, there are hidden objectives, not just combat objectives.
Okay.
He was the only one who scored a perfect score on the heroic portion of the exam for selflessly saving someone. Mm-hmm. And it caused Ida to really evaluate himself as well. But what's great is during the scene he gets the graduation letter or the acceptance letter, and it's a video by All Might, and All Might is like, "Congratulations!" And he explains why he got accepted. He's like, "You've been accepted to UA," and wait, how many more of these do I have to do? Like he literally says that. Somebody's like, "You have to do like 30 more of these." He goes, "Wait, how many do I have to do?" They do a good job in this anime of like fucking with the humor. But he's the only one that actually did that. So while his combat score was abysmal, he managed to, gain entrance to it because of that.
Well, listen, they say this all the time with fighters. The one thing that you can't teach is heart. Everything else can come later. You can build up your skill later. So I like this kid.
Oh god, you watch the anime, you're gonna love him because he's just like the sweetest kid. Mm-hmm. And he's super smart, too. That's the best part. So after he gets accepted, he's talking to All Might, and he's like, All Might goes, dude, kid, I didn't put in any good word for you. This is all you, kid. You wowed everyone.
I keep getting chills.
I know. And then, he's like, oh, All Might. And then there are some viewers, like, tourists nearby. He's like, wait, All Might's here? And All Might's like, kid, what the fuck? You gotta stop calling me All Might in public. Because he's in his non-All Might form. But he's like, never mind, I have poor eyesight. I'm terrible. And the people are like, fuck you! Thought we had a fucking Instagram moment.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, that's amazing.
So he goes and he realizes he's going to be in class, I believe it's 1A at UA. Mm-hmm. So he meets all of his classmates. And let me tell you, we're gonna actually go, I have the wiki up because I can't remember Japanese games. Names? Especially when I'm drinking. We have Yugo Ayama, or also known as Won't Stop Spark Twinkling. Mm-hmm. His power is that he can shoot a laser beam out of his navel.
Okay.
We have Mina Ashido, who is actually super fucking cute. She's a slug girl.
Oh my god.
She has acid slime that she can slide on and project.
I love her hair.
I know. We have Suyu Asoi, who is basically like Toad from the X-Men. She is a long tongue and agility and stuff like that. They're all so fucking good. Even the ones who I'm like, what? There's Tenya Ida, who has the pistons. Ochaka Oraka, who has the gravity. There's Mashiru Ojiru, who has... Literally, he's a martial artist with a fucking, kangaroo tail.
Okay.
There's Denki Kaminari, who... He's great. He has electrical powers, but if he overdoes it, he short-circuits his brain, and it's just like, I'm so dumb, I'm so dumb, I'm so dumb. The dumb. I like cheese. Like, he's just random. There's Ijiro Kirishima, who literally can turn his skin to like a stone kind of thing. There's Koji Koda, who you find out can communicate with animals. There's Rikoda Sato, who is known as... He gains super strength and invulnerability when ingesting sugar, but only for a certain time before he crashes.
Same.
Yeah, there's Meizo Shoji, who has 6 appendages, and he can, like, hear out of them and stuff like that. I really can't describe it. There's Koyoka Jiro, who has ear jacks in her ears that she actually, part of her costume is she plugs the ear jacks in there and amplifies them. Like, she can hear stuff through them. There's Hanta Sero, who literally can shoot, like, webbing out of his elbows like scotch tape.
Okay.
There's Fumikaze Tokoyami, who can summon a shadow bird and, like, have it attack people, that kind of thing. There's Shoto Todoroki, who, another character is called Icy Hot, and that's what I named him, because one half of his body can control ice and the other half can control fire.
So that's your nickname for him?
That's Bakugo's nickname for him, but it's the world's nickname for him.
Oh, okay.
There's Toru Hagekure, who is an invisible girl.
Okay.
And the best part about this is the creator once drew he drew hentai of her, and it was amazing because it was just a blank picture. Because she's invisible. He did it in the manga. He's like, here's some lewd artwork of everyone's favorite invisible girl. I hope you like it.
Bless.
Bless him. Bakugo with the nitroglycerin, sweat and explosions. Midoriya, who has the quirk. Oh yeah, so let me tell you about the quirk, because he explains it to him. His quirk is one for all. It's a quirk that's actually been passed down for generations since quirks became a thing.
Okay.
Right? Through multiple users. And basically, the first person who had it was able to pass on the quirk to someone else. And basically, the quirk strengthens when it adapts to a person who has a quirk. Like, it incorporates that quirk.
Okay. So not every quirk can be passed, only certain ones.
Only his.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's special, and that's why he doesn't let anybody know about it.
Okay, yeah, I can see why.
So, it has to be a willing thing. You have to willingly be like, I give this quirk to you. You can't just be like, I'm going to nom on your hair for 15 minutes. Right? So, he has one for, all for one, which gives him super strength and vulnerability, super speed, like all these amazing things. And whatever, adapts after the fact. Then there's Minoru Manada, who is a fuckboy, and I hate him. He has these weird little orbs on his head that he can pull off and make sticky. And he looks like a deviled egg in his hero costume. And he is a pervert.
Or a rejected Mega Man.
Yeah,
villain.
he looks like a rejected Mega Man villain, and he's the worst.
I want grape juice now, though.
Yeah. And then there's Momo Yawa Yorozu. She can create inanimate objects out of her skin. Like, she pulls them out of it. She just has to know the chemical composition and everything like that.
I also really like her hair.
Yeah, her hair is great. And so that's the class of 1A. And their teacher is a guy known as Eraserhead.
Like the movie?
So Eraserhead was friends with President Mike, and they talk about this in the anime. He was friends with President Mike, and they were choosing their hero names, so he's like, I don't fucking give a shit about this. His power is that he can look at you and erase your quirk temporarily, so it puts you on a level of a normal human, but he's a normal human who is really fucking, like, well-trained, so he just generally erases your quirk, and then beats the living shit out of you.
So... Is it present Mike or prison Mike?
Present, like the sense of time.
Okay, that's what I thought you said, but then you said it really
So, like,
fast,
they're talking about their hero
so.
names, and, like, he's like, I don't know what to do. And President Mike is like, you should name yourself Eraserhead. He's like, fine. And then later on in the anime, he's like, names will fucking haunt you.
Yeah.
Don't take this lightly.
Mm-hmm.
And then it, like, flashbacks to why. But he's their teacher, and he has a reputation for being a hard ass.
Mm-hmm.
So he teaches them all, like, he evaluates all their quirks,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks at Midoriya, and, you know, like, he's failed, like, every single aptitude test, and he's like, the one who fails or scores the least on this, I'm expelling them.
Okay.
So he looks at Midoriya and he goes, you have no control over your powers. And he erases his powers temporarily. He's like, you're going to just break your fucking arm again, and you're going to make yourself look like a goddamn fool, and make me and everyone here waste their time during this test of throwing, like, a shock put. And he's like, you have to show some control or else you're going home. And Midoriya looks at him, and he looks at the rest of the class, who's all like, he's not going to pull this off. And at this moment, he learns how to control the power just a little bit. He fucking throws the shock put and channels one for all through his finger. Breaks only his finger, but throws that fucking ball into outer space. Like, he just fucking, like, nails it.
Mm-hmm.
And All Might is like, you know, I never knew you to actually go back on your promises. I know you would have fucking, like, expelled him. And Eraserhead is like, you don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, yeah, I do. You see the potential that I see in Midoriya as well. That he has the potential to be, like, an amazing hero. All he needs is knowledge and the right teachers. And this is, like, the beginning of, like, the school year and everything like that. And their training. And after we get out of that, after their arc, right? Or after that arc, we go up to the next form of school testing, where they actually run, like, tests against the kids themselves. And they have their costumes and everything like that. And Midoriya's costume kind of replicates All Might's, and All Might's just like, oh my god, fanboy, you are so obvious. You are so obvious.
Obvious costume is obvious.
Yeah, basically, you were, like, so fucking... You were so obvious that you loved me. And so they're sent into this predicament, right? Where 2 of the students play villains, and 2 of the students play heroes. And the heroes have to beat the villain by either knocking them out and arresting them with handcuffs, or finding the nuke that they have. It's a fake nuke, a bomb. And this is so great because Ida is like, so I have to be the villain, but I only know how to be a hero. Fine, if I have to be the villain, then I will be the greatest fake villain there ever has been. And he fucking LARPs that shit. Like, he's like into it, like he's like, pitiful heroes, you will never, ever get my bomb! Like, he's just fucking... But, like, Bakugo, and everybody sees this side of Bakugo that is like, oh my god, you're fucking crazy, we don't like you. You're so extra, dude. You so hate this guy, and we don't even know why, and it's kind of fucking sad. Like, everybody likes Midoriya, but everybody looks at Bakugo like, you're a fucking psychopath, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, because Midoriya even notices, and he's like, what the fuck changed? Everybody loved him in high school.
Yeah.
Or grade school. So basically, during this time, Araka and Midoriya, you know, Gravity Girl and All Might fanboy, basically team up to fight King Explosion Fuckboy and LARPer Speed LARPer.
Mm-hmm.
Speed LARPer, go Speed LARPer. Yeah, it doesn't roll that well, but not awful.
No,
So
I think you nailed it.
They, at this point, Bakugo realizes, like, how smart Midoriya is.
Yeah.
And this is the moment where, like, okay, so earlier in the anime, I totally spaced there. You know, like, Bakugo calls him Deku. Deku is Japanese for shrub. He's basically calling Midoriya useless. Like, he's a useless shrub. Like, you're a bush. That's all you're useful for, is being a bush. And, you know, Aracha calls him that, and he goes, yeah, he only calls that to me because he's a bully. And she apologizes, and she goes, oh, I didn't know. And he's like, it's okay, you didn't know. And at this moment, he decides his hero name will be Deku. Because Deku is the name that, while it was given to him out of malice, he'll make it the name of a champion. A hero that'll defend the weak. And Bakugo
We
is
don't
like...
deserve this kid.
I know, no one deserves him, he's fucking perfect. And Bakugo is like, you're a fucking idiot. And then he attacks him. And Deku has spent years analyzing every single hero ever, and grabs his arm and throws him down on the ground and just starts wailing on him. and Bakugo's like, what the fuck? And he goes, dude, I've studied all of your shit every fucking moment of the day. You always attack with your right side, so all it was a matter of just fucking realizing that, and then countering that. And Bakugo was like, what the fuck did you just say to me? I'm King Explosion Fuckboy. And, Aracha goes to, handle the bomb, air quotes, right? And, Bakugo and Midoriya have a fight, and he's just constantly, grabbing him away, trying to handcuff him. And Bakugo eventually does... He is an exceptional fighter. So eventually he does get the handle on him. But in the meanwhile, Tenya is walking around the bomb being like, no one will... He's LARPing. And Aracha tries to sneak up on him but fucking laughs about it because it's so extra, it's not even funny. And he's like, hero, you'll never get me! And he just grabs the bomb and, runs around with it. And shit like that. He just constantly makes it so that you can't touch it. Because all they have to do is touch it to win the challenge.
Okay.
So during the fight with Ichigo, with Midoriya and Bakugo, he's trying to egg Deku on to using his power because he's like, you made a fool out of me all these years. You had a quirk and you never said anything. You never showed it. You fucking asshole loser. You made me think you were a joke, but you actually had this immense power. And they're fighting, and he's like, use it on me, you fucking bitch. And Deku, this is why he's such a brilliant hero. He doesn't use it to hurt Bakugo. He uses it to fucking punch, and the shockwave goes up through the building, causing all the floors to collapse above him. And the bomb is still there, right? In the meanwhile, Ida can't run using his super speed unless he has traction on the floor. Araka jumps over him and grabs the bomb and causes it to hover so that it doesn't do anything. And, Deku just falls to the ground with his arm broken, and he's like, gotcha, motherfucker. And then he's like, I'm out. And he goes to sleep. And Bakugo's like, I lost. I fucking lost to this bitch. And then everybody's like, yeah, you did, bitch. Yeah, you did. You suck. Fucking hate him.
Yeah.
But out of everybody who's getting the grade, he almost killed Deku during that attack, and All Might was like, I should tell them to hold... He told him to hold back, but he's like, I should tell them to fucking stop, but this is great for both of them to know their limits. And All Might at this point realizes that Bakugo has the potential to be a great hero or a great villain. With the right guidance, he could be a great hero. With the wrong, he could be a great villain. So he tries to, get him to open up. And Bakugo's like, fuck you. And Deku, not even knowing why, he's like, dude, I didn't have a power. All Might gave it to me. I'm supposed to be the next symbol of peace and hope. I've chosen that I'm worthy, and I'm not going to let you stand in my way. But I don't want to hate you. I want to be friends. And Bakugo is like, you're fucking liar, and I don't know why you made up that story, but fuck you. And All Might is a little mad at him. He's like, you can't do that, man. And he's like, I know. I don't know why I even said it, but he looked so sad and fuckboyish. I just felt bad.
He just looked like so much of a fuckboy that I had to take the fuckboy away.
I know, I had to take the fuckboy out of you. The fuckboy is strong in you.
Yes.
But out of everybody who passed the class, it was Ida. Because he actually got in the mind of the villain, and despite him being a weird LARPer, All Might was like, you did exactly what I asked you to do. You're great.
I mean,
and he was like, Senpai noticed me. And they have a class election, and everybody votes for Deku, and then the second vote is for girl who can create object. So we're going to call her Boob Window Girl, because look at this outfit.
Boob Window Girl. Okay.
So Boob Window Girl won second, but Deku was like, hey, Ida should be it. He's got the most passion. And she was like, great, thanks, patriarchy. I got the second amount of votes, so I guess we're not going by that. And this is the start of her I have no self-confidence train because men are terrible. And she's not wrong. She's not fucking wrong.
No, my baby with the really great hair.
So, like, you know, Bakugo's pride is damaged and everything like that, and everybody's like, grow the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
So after the class elections, the kids go on a field trip.
Okay.
To learn about disaster relief aid.
Okay.
Okay. And, right? I remember this scene. I can't remember exactly what I said, what was said, but Froppy, the frog girl, her name is Sue.
Okay.
She goes by the codename Froppy. She throws so much shade at Bakugo, and everybody laughs at him, and I loved it. Because she has zero chill when it comes to fucking idiots. And they're talking about, like heroes and everything, and she's like, yeah, but Bakugo would just get angry and destroy everything, so what good is he gonna be at disaster relief? And he's like, what the fuck did you say? And he goes, I just said that you'd be horrible at disaster relief because you can't control your fucking temper. And everybody's like... and everybody's like... And it's like, you know, she's not fucking wrong, dude.
Yeah.
You suck. And he just gets salty about it. And even Midoriya's like, everybody likes me and bullies him. That's weird.
Aw.
So they're going to this dome area, right? Where, I can't remember the name of it, but basically, they're going through this dome area. And they're being taught by, a teacher named 13, whose power is that they can open black holes and suck stuff into them. And so they use this to...
terrifying.
Yeah, but they're a good guy who uses them to suck the black holes and suck in debris to help rescue victims.
Oh, okay.
They're not a villain, right? It's like a joint...
terrifying.
It's a facility that's used to practice disaster areas or accidents so that heroes can, like, lift cars and shit and debris, right? And Eraserhead is there, too. And 13's like, I thought All Might was supposed to be here with the class. Turns out All Might had used too much of his power, so he can't really do much. And he's just resting in the faculty with the principal, who is like this weasel guy who's been experimented on, and their quirk is that they're a hyper-intelligent weasel. And he's like, let me tell you about a story, and All Might is like, oh no, he's got the tea ready, he's not gonna shut up. For like 8 hours. Oh no. So this is actually the worst time for this to happen, because apparently the villains have been planning, the League of Villains attacks, and has been planning a massive attack because they knew All Might was supposed to be here, because they had caused disruption at the school gates and snuck in there to steal, like, the itinerary. Right? And there's a guy named Tamoru who has a bunch of hands on his head and face and shoulders, like they're like rock hands. Turns out his power is that if he touches you, you turn to stone. So he's a fucking weirdo. And his buddy is named like Kurogiri, I think. Kurogiri, who is like this vapor mist guy who can teleport, but he's like, his body is in like this metal husk, and they bring like over dozens of villains with them who have like shitty quirks to attack all the heroes, and they're fighting and everything like that with this one guy who looks like a bird, like a steroid bird guy with their brain exposed, called Nomu, right? And they're attacking all the kids and everything like that, and they separate them. Right? Because Kurogiri has the ability to teleport people, so he teleports and scatters everybody, and the villains just think it'll be easy picking off. But they're mad. Where's All Might? The whole reason they were there was to kill All Might. Because they want to destroy the world's symbol of peace and hope. Right?
Yeah.
And so, what happens is the kids desperately keep fighting back and coming up with ideas to do that. And at this point, like, Midoriya... Right, yeah, at this point, like, they try and get one of the students out so that they can warn All Might. So they tell Ida to do it because he's the fastest, and even though he's the class chairman, he's the only one that could reach the others in time to warn them, right? Mm-hmm. So they manage to sneak him out, and he runs all the way back to the school. Like, they took a bus there, and he just runs, and All Might is on the way there, and he meets Ida. Right? And he finds out about it and just rushes over there. Meanwhile, while he's rushing over there...
when he meets up with Ida, is he in his super jacked
Yes,
form?
The students don't know about his problem.
Okay, I thought so. Alright.
Right, so while he's there, like, the kids are still trying to valiantly fight. And this is the first time, right? Somebody tries to attack Sue, aka Froppy, the hand guy, and Midoriya tells him to lay off and punches at him with full force. But the Nomu guy blocks it and absorbs the attack. And this is like getting hit by like Superman. Like, he absorbed it. And Midoriya was like, I didn't break my arm, but why the fuck did he not go flying from this? And as he's about to, hurt Midoriya, All Might breaks through the fucking door, and he's in, this fucking, suit and tie and everything, and he looks pissed. Like, we're talking super pissed. And immediately just fucking dashes forward, and 20 villains just fucking all go unconscious.
Yeah, no.
And he is livid.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with that guy.
He is livid, right? And so what happens is all the students are still separated. He starts fighting the Nomu, and Midoriya warns him he absorbed my smash attack. I don't know why he shouldn't have been able to do that. And All Might looks at him and he just smiles. It goes, "Don't worry, I got this. And the hand guy, Mr. Handy, is like, "Do you, fuckboy? Do you? Because I don't think you do." And he's like, "Shut up, villain. Fuck you." And as he's about to fight him, he realizes, oh my god, this guy, he's blocking all my shots. And Mr. Handy's like, he has shock absorption. No matter what you throw at him, you're not going to be able to damage him. And Kirigiri, literally traps All Might with portals, and Nomu is trying to push him down into the portal, and he's like, once you go into that portal, Kirigiri's going to close it, and you're going to be decapitated at the torso, and so you're going to die, and the world is going to see you die, and everyone is going to lose hope. And All Might's like, fuck, this hurts. Oh shit, he's got me in my weak spot, because he's grabbing him in the spot.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Icy Hot comes out of nowhere, and he freezes the Nomu, right? And All Might manages to break free, and he was like, "They almost got me. Great job, kids, but get out of here. I got this." And the kids are like, "Nah, we're gonna make sure you got this." And he's like, No, I got this." And All Might just kind of goes down there, and he's 6 foot, 20 feet, and just he's like, no, and the kids are like, no, and then all the kids are like, ba 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 ba, and All Might's like, ba 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 ba, get out of here. And Midoriya doesn't want to let him go, because he knows the truth that All Might doesn't have a lot of time left. He doesn't have a lot of time in that form. He's pushing past his limits. And the best fucking scene in this anime is about to happen. The kids are like, I guess we're fighting, and Handy is like, Kirigiri, get All Might. I'll kill the children. And then we're gonna clear this level and go home. He's treating it like a game. And All Might is like, I don't have any more time in this form, but it doesn't matter. I have to save everyone. I am the world's symbol of peace and justice. I have to stop these villains, no matter what. and he just rushes at Nomu, head fucking on, and their fists clash like that, and Mr. Handyfuck is like, what the fuck? Didn't I tell you he doesn't have shock? He has shock absorption? No matter what you do, it's not going to do anything to him. And All Might goes, yeah? So what? And he just keeps hitting him, and he goes, you said he has shock absorption. Not shock nullification. Meaning there's only a limit to what he can take. So if I have to go above and beyond, that's what I'm gonna do. And he just starts fucking wailing on him at the speed of light. Just punches after punches after punches after punches. And he's hitting him so fucking hard, the kids and everybody's flying back, like with wind chill. He's just fucking going at him so hard while he's like bleeding. Nomu's just starting to deteriorate because every hit fucking regenerates. He's beating the regeneration and shock absorption right out of him. He's just wailing on him over and over and over and over and over again. And grabs him, throws him up into the air, jumps up, throws him back down, lands, and he's like, you may have heard these words before, but let me teach you what they truly mean. Go beyond, plus ultra. And that's the saying for the whole thing. Going beyond your limits. And just one punch knocks that fucker out of the building, through the fucking stratosphere, going miles away. And he goes, no matter what, a hero always finds a way that justice can be served. And the villain is freaking out, and he's scratching his neck. He's like, you cheated. And All Might just goes, let's just get this done. And he realizes, I only have a few more seconds in this form. Time's up. We gotta make this look good. And he goes, and, you know, the villain looks at him and goes, that took a lot out of you. You're not at 100%. I know you're weaker. He told me you're weaker. You can't survive this. Let's get him. And as he's about to, like, lurch at All Might, who's about to lose his powers again, the rest of the student faculty comes in and saves them. One of them, named Snipe, who looks like Ghost Cowboy McCree, just shoots the guy like 4 times in all of his joints. Yeah, he looks like McCree.
Yay!
And like the students don't even realize All Might loses his powers because they hide him. But like All Might's like, oh my god, I almost died. And Midori was like, I knew it, man. I knew you didn't have it in you, but I believed in you. You did it.
Yeah.
Like, everybody... Oh, my God. It's, like, the best anime scene in the anime. And the manga doesn't do it justice, because the anime did music, voice acting.
Well,
it's just...
Yeah.
Like, he punches him so fucking hard, he just flies through the air, through the building, into the stratosphere, and they find him later on, like, miles away, and he's just, like, a mindless husk, and he's just like,
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. And it was at that point they realized the League of Villains was actually a thing that was problematic.
Yeah.
It's my favorite scene in the anime. Like, just seeing him dash forward and, like, 20 villains just all flying in the air, and he's like, never mind. Never you fear. All Might is here. And that is basically the end of Season 1. Because, you know, reasons.
Okay.
Whew. But we're on to Season 2 now.
You doing okay there?
I am doing great. I'm
Okay.
doing great. I'm going to need some more, actually. I'm sobering up because I'm fat.
I believe in you, champ.
But, you know, like, people are, like, worried about everything because... And it turns out, there's that line, like, he told me you were weaker.
Yeah.
All Might finds out the man he thought he killed 5 years ago in that final battle lived.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
His name is All for One. While he has One for All, the power that embodies unity and protection, All for One has the power to take other people's quirks and steal them and kill them and just
Oh my
fight.
god, so one of them can give his power and the other one can take it away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay.
Oh my god, and their fight, wait until I get, because we're talking about the manga, which is clearly going to cover season 3.
Yeah.
So spoilers, obviously, for this fucking thing if you're listening to the podcast. I hope you read the manga.
Yes.
But the fight, man, I'm going to get to it, it's going to be sick. So season 2 starts with the sports festival. So it turns out in this setting, right, UA is the premier school, right, the superhero school, the next wave of heroes. What happens is, and this is the only time in an anime where a tournament arc doesn't bother the fuck out of me. Because tournaments are stupid in arcs. For about, like, Yu Yu Hakusho having the tournament arcs, I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Well, unless,
it's a common
of course,
shonen... Yeah, it's a common shonen trope, and I don't understand it for a lot of animes.
Unless, of course, it's Seto Kaiba holding a
Well, unless it's a
contest
card
in
fucking
city.
tournament. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's all about tournaments and card battles. But, you know, like a spirit detective having to fight in a tournament was weird. You know, Dragon Ball Z, weird. But they do it. Like, how Cell had a tournament. He's like, I guess I'll have a tournament. Because that makes sense. But this actually makes sense because they were like, oh yeah, the sports festival. I thought they'd cancel it without all the villains attack. And they're like, no, we want to show a good face. We want to show good face for this. Turns out that after everybody got superpowers, the Olympics were kind of redundant. So they have this sports festival once a year, like the Olympics, where all the students of the next generation compete in games and activities to show off their prowess, to show the next generation of heroes. It's basically the Olympics. Which makes this the first fucking anime that has a tournament arc that makes fucking sense. I'm looking at every Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, shonen fucking anime. Y'all did it fucking wrong. This is the only one that makes any goddamn sense.
I can see the hate mail just coming.
I know, right? They're gonna be like, I love Yu Yu Hakusho. I love Naruto. And
Your opinion of this means I can't enjoy this thing I love.
It doesn't make sense to me, the tournament arc. Like, why the fuck, right? Like, there you go. Doesn't make sense.
No, there are definitely tropes and things I'm not.
And let me tell you, the sports festival arc is fucking great because we get to see Midori actually be great in this, despite not using his powers too often, because he uses his brain. So icy hot at this is Bakugo and Midoriya like just clean house on this. So the first game is an obstacle course.
Okay.
And they even have like robots, mines, and stuff like that. And icy hot Todoroki like literally freezes all of his competition at the start and just rushes off ahead. And at no point does he use his fire powers during this, by the way. There's a reason, and I'll get to that.
Okay.
Midoriya and Bakugo's like flying through the air using his combustion to propel himself forward. And Midoriya's just fucking running along with everybody. He's like, fuck. At one point during the minefield, he's like, I have to win this. Because prior to this, All Might goes to him and he goes, listen, like, I can't use my powers for more than an hour a day now after that Nomu incident. I went above and beyond to save you guys, and it was worth it. Don't get me wrong. But my time being the world's symbol of peace and hope is coming to an end. And he grabs Midoriya by the shoulders and goes, it's your time now. I want this tournament to be the moment where you announce to the world that you're the next symbol of peace and justice. And Midoriya is like, I'm not going to let you down. And he's remembering this all this time. So he gets in the minefield at this point.
I want you to look at my arm right now.
Yeah, goosebumps. I see literal goosebumps.
Yeah.
So Midoriya goes, and he grabs a piece of one of the broken robots, and he slides over the mines, and the mines go off and propel him forward, and he gets ahead of both Bakugo and Todoroki, who are like, the fuck? And he's like, suck it, nerds! Only not really, because I value both of his friends, even Bakugo who's a bully. I love you both. And he just runs to the finish line, and he wins.
Oh.
Using not his powers, but his brains. He was the underdog. No one thought he could win, and that blew my mind. The second competition is bad, because no one wants to be with him, because the person who won the first competition is worth the most points. Basically, it's like a weird three-legged race,
Okay.
where 3 people have to hold up the 4th, who has the armband.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal is to get the armband off of the other players, so whoever has the most armbands wins. And armbands are awarded by certain points. Midoriya, being that he won the first one, is worth 1 million points.
Okay.
And only the top 8 are going to get to go into the final phase of this.
Okay.
Okay, so before this, Shota Todoroki, I might be fucking up his name, because Todoroki and Bird Boy, Shadow Bird Boy, Hot Topic, and Icy Hot have similar names, so Shadow Bird Boy, it's not the one we're talking about.
Okay.
Icy Hot is the one. He pulls Midoriya aside and he's like, my dad is the world's 2nd greatest hero. And he's kind of a dick. He's always been pissy at All Might, and his name is Endeavor. And Midoriya's like, I know Endeavor. He's pretty legit. He's like, yeah, he's a fucking dick. I hate my father. So you find out that when quirks started becoming a thing, like, people, like, tried to do arranged marriages so that they could, like, get powerful quirks for their children. That's what fuckboy Endeavor did. He basically had relations and married a woman who had ice powers to complement his fire powers, and their son was Icy Hot. And Icy Hot hated his father but loved his mother because his father was trying to train him to be the successor to one day beat All Might, to be the number 1. Because he knew he couldn't beat All Might. He hates All Might.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And Icy Hot explains this to Midoriya. And we're going to get into a little bit about Icy Hot's past. If you look at this picture, you see he has a scar over his left eye.
Yeah.
Right? So his mother one day was like, every good hero needs a fucking good tragic backstory, and threw scalding hot water on his face. Not actually the reason why she did it, but I like to joke around because, holy fuck, she just went apeshit because her husband was an abusive asshole, and she had to be locked away in a mental institution to recover from his abuse. And she just looked at her son every day and only saw the byproduct of that fucking marriage, and just threw boiling hot water on his face, and that's why he has that scar. And he was like, I love my mother. I hate my father. I know he did that to her. She was always the sweetest person in the world. And I want you to know that I'm going to win this tournament out of spite, because fuck my dad. Don't actually have intercourse with my dad. It is a saying.
No.
Don't actually fuck my dad. Midoriya, he holds his arms. He's like, I know you're a weird guy, but please don't fuck my father. It's not good for you. It's not good for me. I'm going to look at it, and I'm just going to be like, no.
Okay, so here's one of those moments that I'm like, is this a thing that happened, or is this just sass right now?
It's like 100% sass.
I figured, but didn't want to assume.
But yes, so he basically says he's going to win the tournament, and Midoriya's like, I respect your story, but I also have reasons for winning the tournament, and I'm not going to fucking just... I'm not going to give up because you want me to. I'm sorry. So everybody has their this race, right? And no one wants to be with Midoriya because he's a liability, except Araka, who is like his ship. And she's like, no, we're friends. And he goes, Ida, can I count on you? And Ida goes to him and goes, Midoriya, we're really good friends, and I value your friendship. But I don't think you realize how much I also want to be the top. I want to be the one that people recognize. You know, my brother is a great superhero in Ingenim. Something words. And Midoriya's like, I get it, man. I get it. We good fam. And they hug it out. I don't remember if they actually hug it out, but in my mind, they fucking hug it out. He's like, and they're crying, and they're like, dude, it's all good. He's like, no, man, I don't want you to think I hate you, man. And he's like, no, man, I don't think I hate you. Hate me. I get it. You want to stand on your own 2 feet. You want to rev your carbines up. And he's like, oh, man, my carbines are so unrevved. I got to rev them the fuck up. He's like, I got it. I believe in you. We're going to have a great time out there. High five, high five. And they just do it. And he's like, fuck, who the fuck am I going to get there? And another character gets introduced from another class, the engineering class, who's like, you won the first round. I want to play with you because I want everybody in this crowd to see my invention, so after I graduate, they'll hire me as an engineer. And she is so fucking smart for that. I love her. And then the last one is Bird Boy, Shadow Edgelord Bird Boy, who was like, yeah, I got this. And they do this whole song and dance for like an episode or two, and unfortunately Midoriya loses his headband, and he thinks that he's been kicked out of the tournament, and he's sad. And, you know, Bird Boy is like, okay, I used my bird to snatch someone, so we're in 8th place. We're not the highest, but I got you, fam. And Midoriya, like, there's a gif of him crying like geysers. He's like, I'm so happy. And everybody's like, I get it. I believe in you. And everybody's like, okay, you can stop crying, man. It's cool. And he's like, I really can't. I cry a lot. It's just my thing. And that is the second part of it. Oh, and Bakugo loses his shit and gets mad at one guy who keeps bullying him and just rampages. So the third part, oh yeah, I forgot, at the beginning of this tournament, they had a guest speaker, and Bakugo was voted to be the guest speaker, and he literally goes up and he goes, y'all should just fucking stop, I'm gonna win this shit, and drops the mic. And everybody's like, what the fuck? And everybody in his class is like, thanks, dude. Like, everyone didn't hate us after this supervillain attack where we got a whole bunch of rep. Yeah. Thanks. And he's like...
I think everybody who is just listening to the audio only...
the face she's making is fucking divine.
But I'm pretty sure you could hear my eye roll. It was so it's so
fucking bad. So they take a break, and then it gets to the final point of the tournament, which is a one-on-one battle, like an actual tournament. And Midoriya goes, I'm only going to focus on Midoriya. He goes up against, the first person is someone who he can really relate to. It's someone who was always told he was never good enough because his powers weren't, like, physical. They were all mental. He can control people's minds if they talk to him.
Okay.
Like, if they said anything, he could look at them and just control their minds. And he did. He got them riled up. And Midoriya, like, used all his will from One for All, and saw, like, the specters of everyone who had the power before. And later talks to All Might, he's like, is that normal? And he goes, no, man, I don't know what the fuck you saw. And Midoriya's like, did I see ghosts? And he's like, maybe?
Congrats, you're haunted.
Yeah, congrats. And Midoriya's like, the fuck? But... this kid was always told, like, he was never good enough, like, his power would have been better suited to be a villain, and all he wanted to do was be a hero, but he was put in the remedial class because his ability wasn't practical, yet dipshit Minata, who has, like, circular balls on his head that he pulls off that stick to shit, is in the 1A class, and I'm like, what the fuck is up with this academy? Right? Like, the pervy guy. He's so pervy, I hate him. Minata is, like, the pervy trope, and oh my god, I hate him so much. I literally want to punch him in his stupid face. There's a scene in the 3rd season and anime where they all just confirm he's the worst. In the manga.
They have a powwow and they're like, yeah, that guy?
It's a bath scene, and he tries to peep on the girls.
Oh my god.
And a kid just bitch slaps him out of the way, and he's like, you're the worst.
Good.
And all the boys are like, he is. And all the girls are, like, yelling over the wall, being like, yeah, he is. And Minata's like, I just want an erection. And then everybody's like, you're not disproving this theory of you being the worst.
In fact, you're confirming it.
So, yeah, so, like, Midoriya doesn't want to, like, give up on his dream, but he it's a really tearful moment. Like, this kid, the psychic, who can control minds, when he loses, everybody from his class is like, dude, you made it to the fucking finals! That's awesome! And everybody believes in him, so he's still inspired to be the best that he can be. And then we have a couple of more tournament things where people get wrecked, and Aracha tries to defeat Bakugo and almost does it by controlling gravity of the environment, but Bakugo is just way stronger than her, and it's bad, and she feels guilty about it because she turns out that she wants to be a hero so that she can get a license to use her powers to work for her father's construction company and make them a lot of money so they never have to worry again. Because you can't use your powers unless you have a license. And, some people want, to be recognized. Some people want to do stuff like that. And girl with the hair that you like, like cleavage girl, she gets beat in the first part of the competition, and she really just, doesn't have any faith in herself despite how intelligent she is. Because she went up against a bad matchup. It was just luck of the draw. The guy the bird boy, his power just completely overshadows hers. So anyway, we get up to, the part with Icy Hot versus Midoriya, and this is, an amazing fight, because he won't give up. Icy Hot is, just using all his ice powers to fucking do everything. And throughout the fight, Midoriya breaks every one of his fingers on both hands, trying to fucking hold him back from using his ice to propel him out of the arena. And at one point, he literally takes his thumb and flicks his fucking thumb using his lips, and breaks it even further, shattering his thumb to make sure he can't lose. And he's doing this all so he can be the next symbol of peace and hope. But during the fight, he causes himself to lose because Icy Hot is not using his fire side. And he looks at him and he goes, "You have to do it 100%. You're not going to beat me. I'm going to give it my all. I'll fucking die before I lose if you're not giving it your all." And he's like, "Your father gave you your powers, yes. But they're not his powers. They're your powers. What you do with them, what you do with everything you do in life is your choice. It doesn't matter that you're his son. It matters what you do now in the present." And at that moment, he uses his fire powers and knocks him the fuck out. And, he gave up that win knowing that he could have won, because it meant more to him not being the vocal symbol of peace and hope, but teaching a person that their life is their own and that inspiring them. And it kind of made Icy Hot, realize shit and become a better person and come to terms with his father, actually, which happens later in the story arc. He still hates his dad, but he, accepts that his father is a part of him whether he likes it or not. And that's why Midoriya is the best, because he inspires people. Okay.
You okay there?
Yeah. I'm just doing that whole belching thing.
Yeah.
So, it ends up being a final match against Icy Hot versus King Fuckboy. King Fuckboy wins, and he's mad because Todoroki, Icy Hot won't use his full potential on him like he did Midoriya, and he finds it insulting, and eventually knocks him out, and he's standing over his defeated victory, and he's like, "This isn't a fucking victory worth having if you're not 100%, you dumb fuck." He just starts wailing on him, and one of the teachers knocks him out, and when they give out the awards, Bakugo is in a muscle. And he's fuming and in chains, and everybody's just awkward, and All Might goes to hand him the fucking medallion, and he's like, "And here you go." And he's fuming and everything. He's like, "And shut the fuck up." He's like, "You did good, but you need to kind of take a chill pill." And everybody is like, "Yeah, he really does." I'm shaking my head right now because it was funny, but it was also a little bit sad. And, Midoriya's in the infirmary trying to heal and everything like that. And, Recovery Girl's like, "All Might, this is because of you." And he looks up at All Might, he's like, "I'm sorry I didn't win. I know you wanted me to reveal to myself that I'm the next symbol of peace and hope, and I let you down." And All Might, is like, "You didn't let me down. I put too much on you, and I'm sorry. You're doing great, and I'm fucking up teaching you, and I'm trying harder." And then we get to the next story arc where they all get internships. And All Might is in the office, and he's like, oh, someone actually wants to have Midoriya intern for them. Who could this be? He opens the letter, he's like, oh no, it's Gran Torino. Gran Torino is the guy that trained All Might when he got his powers.
Okay.
So he's like, oh my god, he thinks I'm fucking this up. Oh shit, he hasn't trained anyone in like 30 fucking years. Oh god, oh god, oh god. And all the teachers are like looking at All Might like, haha, you suck, dude. And All Might's like, thanks guys, thanks, cool. Thought I could count on you for support. He's like, fuck you, dude. You're like the world's symbol of peace and hope. Like, you know, like, grow up. And All Might's like, I am grown up, goddammit.
I'm All Might.
So everybody chooses their internships, and I'm gonna go into Araka's, because Araka is like, I want to be a better fighter. That taught me about being a better fighter, and it's really important. But the best fucking thing is she basically trains with someone who's like the Punisher. Yeah. He's like the fucking Punisher, but better.
Go on.
Could go on, yes. He's like the Punisher, but way better, because he's a real person, and not just like, my wife and kid are dead.
Yo, that's Frank Castle.
No, I know, but he's like way better than John Bernthal, Frank Castle, because he's a sweetheart.
Oh.
Because he's like, okay, everybody, we're gonna teach you how to deal with knife attacks. Aracha, please come at me with a knife. And he looks like a fucking, like, Punisher-esque, like, heavy metal 80s kind of hero. And he's like, are you sure? Are you sure to come at you? And he's like, yeah, no, it's great. Just come at me. And he just disables her, and he's like, this is how you do it, kids. This is how you disable an attacker. And she gets a phone call, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I have a phone call. Like, she's, like, all, like, tied up and everything. And he's like, oh, no, I'm so sorry. Here, you do it. Like, in the streets, he's vicious. In the sheets, he's, like, the sweetest man. And he goes, after she gets off the phone,
really
she's talking to Midori about something.
Yeah.
And he's like, was that your boyfriend? Like, literally shaking arms and everything. And she's like, blushing. She goes, no, it wasn't my boyfriend. He's like, do you have a boyfriend? You're blushing. It was your boyfriend, wasn't it? And he's just like the sweetest fucking guy, and I just love him so much.
I want to be his best friend.
I know, he's so fucking great. What is his name? I'm gonna look it up right now, because
I want to see what he looks like too.
Oh yeah, it's Gunhead. His name is Gunhead. This is him. Imagine this guy being like, do you have a boyfriend? What's his name? Girl, dish me the deets.
Oh my god, I love him.
You're gonna love this anime. You're gonna watch it after I tell you this. Okay, so this part actually is only in the anime, so I'm gonna cover it. But Froppy is such a popular character that she gets her own sea adventure story arc for filler with Selkie. Selkie is great. Selkie is like the Aquaman. Like, he goes on, she goes for the water kind of missions and stuff like that. Selkie is in charge of the, like, deep sea search and rescue stuff. He's like a sea otter person, as you can see, like, right here.
Yeah.
But he tries to do serious poses, but he's like, aren't I so cute? And his sidekick is like, no, boss, you're not. And he goes, I am cute, come on. Just let me have this.
He's a sea otter.
He is.
That automatically makes him
he's
cute.
so great. She has this whole moment about learning what it's like to be a hero. It's great. I don't want to spoil it too much.
Okay.
But it's only in the anime. It's not in the manga. It was clearly filler, but it was really good added in. And everybody, has this stuff. Oh, I forgot. Okay. So there's a commentary in the tournament about Crimson Riot. Crimson Riot is the guy who, like I told you, his skin kind of gets like that stone-like quality.
Yeah.
Right?
I
love Crimson Riot. What?
How did he get the name Crimson Riot?
Okay, so the reason his name is Crimson Riot is because, like, Crimson Tornado or something, or Crimson Great Guy was his... This is him. His hero was named Crimson something, so he wanted to be Crimson Riot.
Oh, okay, alright.
Right? And in the tournament, he fights someone who has steel powers. This guy. Who even has a similar fucking costume to him.
Oh my god.
And they don't get along at first. They're like... and then they end up beating each other so hard that they both knock each other out at the same time. So they have to determine their fucking fight in an arm wrestling match. And Crimson Riot wins, but it's a commentary about how heroes have similar powers, like Stone Skin, Steel Skin, right? Later they intern at the same place, and they're like, dude, you're here? And they're at the same time, they're both talking in unison. They're like, dude, I can't believe you're here. And they're jumping for joy, high-fiving and shit. And they become the best of friends.
I was just gonna say, and then they're besties.
Yeah, basically. Also, Crimson Riot is like the only guy that gets along with Bakugo. I should note that.
Oh.
Because he's like, yeah, you're an ass, but you know you love me, dude. And he's like, no, I don't. And he's like, then why are you pouting? And he's like, because I'm gay for you, dude.
Literally.
The ship is real, dude. People love it.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah. So, also, while they're interning, right, Midoriya learns about the truth of Shoto Todoroki, right? So Todoroki is All Might. All Might goes to him and he goes, okay, I told you I didn't have a quirk. That's true. I got my quirk from someone else. We can only give the power to someone who's willing, but when I was young, I didn't have anyone to train me. Gran Torino, who was friends with my mentor who gave me the power, had me, trained. So he wants to train you, because I'm clearly fucking this up, according to him, and that's on me. So he wants you to intern with him. And to be fair, no one else wants to intern with someone whose power breaks them. So this is kind of all you got. But it turns out that All Might never had a power. He was actually a quirkless loser, just like Midoriya, which is the reason why he believes Midoriya is a great successor, because sometimes power is something that... He's Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Google Marvel. You've seen the films. Like, he's Steve Rogers. Okay, so he starts training with... oh yeah, I forgot. At the tournament... Speed Boy, Ida's brother, Injim, who is like... Okay, so it turns out Injim is like a family name, right? Mm-hmm. His family comes from a prominent line of heroes.
Okay.
And his brother is almost mortally wounded by a villain at the tournament. And he can't walk anymore, so he can no longer be a hero. So he asks his brother to take the mantle of Injim and lead the family's, thing. Like, he has, like, his hero agency has, like, 50 sidekicks and everything like that. And his brother, he's like, I'm sorry I let you down. And, because Ida looked up to his brother. Like, he had, like, arm powers, while Ida had, like, powers. And, it really spins Ida out of control, and Midoriya notices it. Because Ida takes an internship at the city where his brother was attacked in hopes to find the villain who did it.
Okay, so, Ida's brother's fight, did that happen pre...
It happened at the tournament.
Or... Oh, okay, alright.
I neglected.
So it happens, like, we see it, essentially. Like, it's...
Kind of, yeah, like, it's like, yeah.
It's something that happens while... Okay.
Yeah, so he fucks with that. So what happens is, okay, so what happens then is he takes an internship at that town and everything like that, and, Midoriya takes an internship with Gran Torino, who basically teaches him to use his powers more effectively. He's like, you're going at 100%. You gotta go at, like, 5%. But you gotta distribute it equally around your body, Like, you're going 100% in one part of your body, and that's why it keeps breaking. But he's an old, weird man like Yoda, and he's tiny and fast, so he's not really teaching the lesson straightforward. He's like, he learns his lesson by microwaving shit. So it's weird. Okay. It's weird, yeah. So, later on, while everybody's doing their internships, the League of Villains attacks, because they meet a guy named Stain. Stain is the guy that beat up Injim, Ida's brother. He is a guy who has like multiple knives and everything like that, and he's got like this radical mindset about heroes and everything being fake and phonies, and he just keeps killing pro heroes. So one night, Gran Torino is trying to go to Midoriya, and he's like, we're gonna go to this town that's really fucking rowdy, and you're gonna use your powers and under my supervision, and we're gonna fucking stop some crime. And as this is happening, Midoriya, not Midoriya, the League of Villains attacks with Stain. They've recruited Stain into their ranks begrudgingly. He hates, the handy guy hates Stain, because Stain is like this weird, like, radical idealist, and they differ on opinions. But he's been really successful in killing heroes. So, like, a bunch of Nomus attack, you know, those bird things.
Yeah. So
it turns out they all have different powers, and they have multiple quirks. And somebody's been taking quirks. Give a hint who, maybe one for, or all for one, has been experimenting on people, stealing quirks and taking them from people and basically making monsters out of them. And they all attack the city, and he's like, this is going to be glorious. And, you know, Ida tries to attack Stain when he finds him attacking another hero. And turns out Stain, if he drinks your blood or tastes your blood, his quirk is that he can paralyze you for several minutes depending on your blood type. So what happens is he does that to Ida. Eventually Todoroki, or, you know, Icy Hot and Midoriya finds him and tries to stop him, but, you know, he texts Icy Hot, who's in the same area, about it, and they all fight Stain and beat the shit out of him. And apparently what they did was illegal. So in Stain's defiant last stand, he's like, none of you are worthy to judge me. Only All Might. You're all fucking phonies. You're all pathetic. You hold to these ideals that don't even exist. Every single one of you. And then he just kind of like stands there, and everybody's just like kind of taken aback about his aggression and charisma. Turns out he had a punctured lung and just kind of like seized up. And everybody just kind of froze up. Veteran heroes, including Endeavor, who's like the world's second greatest hero. And everybody's just like, what the fuck? He's kind of crazy. Let's not fuck with this.
Okay, so
but it turns out he was actually a former hero.
Okay.
Who went batshit crazy, and they locked him away after this.
Mm-hmm.
But he believed that the hero thing became too commercialized in Hollywood, pretty much, and that only people like All Might, who actually believed in the righteousness of being a hero, not for the wealth and everything like that, were worthy enough to be heroes. And then the League of Villains is like, we destroyed half of the city, but all anyone cares about is this fuckboy. Great. That's fucking great. Meanwhile, the kids are at the hospital, and, you know, Ida realizes his hand isn't going to work right, and he's refusing to get surgery on it because he feels it's penance for, you know, being a dick and going ahead of the cause and trying to seek vengeance instead of justice. Mm-hmm. Like, he got called out during that fight about, like, you're a bad guy. You're not worthy to be a hero. And he's like, I want vengeance. He's like, this is what I'm talking about. I'm stained, and you're a hypocrite. And he's like, well, you stab people. You're not really... I don't really care about your opinion. He's like, well, you should.
I mean, you're not one to talk.
Hey, you're not one to talk, like, at all. You're a dick. I'm a dick. You're a dick. Look at me. Look at me. And he's like, stabs him. He's like, who's the dick now? And he's like, you just stabbed me. That's what a dick does. A dick stabs.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. And then Ida is like, we done here? Because I would really like to get some medical attention. And Stain is like, no, we're not done. I have a whole ideological rant to go. And Ida's like, great. Because that's what I want to hear while I'm dying, an ideological rant. You know how exciting that is? And Stain is like, very? And he goes, no, not at all. It's not exciting at all. It's terrible. You are a terrible person, and your teeth are terrible, and your hair is terrible, and everything about you is terrible, and your mom regrets shooting you out of her vag. And Stain is like, ow. That is a little harsh. And he goes, well, you stabbed me, and I don't think it's harsh at all. And Stain is like, you know what, fair point, and stabs him again. And that's My Hero Academia Season 2. Mm-hmm. Well, no, we're almost at the end of Season 2.
Oh, okay.
So, it turns out that the police chief of the area is like, so you kids use your power, and officially, he's also a dog person, by the way. He has a dog head.
Who, the police officer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you want to say?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he's puppers. My Hero Academia Dog Chief. Yeah, see, I just googled dog chief.
Oh, so he's like Scruff McGruff a little bit.
Yeah, and he's doing the thumbs up here, and he's like, listen, I totally, like, I believe you did the right thing, but technically you didn't, legally, and the laws are important. And so what I'm doing now is basically telling you, don't do this again. Your teachers they're going to get fined. Your internships are going to get fined. And we're going to just say that they saved the day to avoid the public backlash. Because I'm not going to have Stain being like, oh, a bunch of kids beat me up. It was against the law. I want out of jail. And then the cop is like, well, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Not today.
You like that straitjacket we put you in? Because I'm tired of you drinking blood everywhere. Do you know how weird it is that your quirk is you drink blood? Do you?
Oh, that is.
And he just kind of like soups in. You're fucking creepy, Hot Topic, okay? You gotta just take it down like 10 fucking notches. You're at fucking 11. That's how many notches you're at.
This one goes.
You are the belt of a person who needs so many fucking notches that I can't. If I were a Valley girl, I would say I can't even. But I can't even odd either. That's how fucking edgy you are, Stain. Your fucking name is edgy.
Yeah.
Put him in ISO. I look at him and I think, wow, fuck you. You want to see him? Stain? Yeah,
yes.
No, he's so weird looking. My Hero Academia. Stain. Are you ready for this? Look at that chin.
Okay.
Look at Edgelord here.
He looks like he's trying to be Casey Jones, is it? From
Look at those teeth. I mean, I gotta give him credit. He really did great job on those teeth. He actually has no nose because his face was burned off.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Lot of face burning there. Look at that. You'd think you'd stop burning off your face, but fuck me, right? So after this, it's finals time for the first year, and we have some moments here, right? Icy Hot goes to visit his mom, and she's like, "Hey, son, I'm still fucked up from your father being a fucking dick," and he goes, "I know, Mom. I still love you despite throwing boiling water on my face." And she's like, "Cool. I really like that you still love me despite that. Fair point. I think you needed a tragic superhero origin. I read a lot of Marvel and DC, and that was the thing." And he goes, "Mom, that doesn't exist in our universe. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Are you taking your medication?" And she's like, "No, not really." And that was their interaction.
And that was their interaction.
Oh yeah. This was the scene. I know. With Gunhead.
I love him so much.
I love him. I want more stories about Gunhead. I want more stories about Gunhead. Okay. So we're up to the finals. And they're like, okay, we gotta switch up our course activity. No more fighting robots. And the students are like, wait, we like fighting robots. It's easy. And the teacher's like, that's why you're not fucking doing it, bitch! And the students are like, fuck. Shit. Fuck.
I mean,
And the
it's
teachers
so
are like,
difficult.
yep, now you're gonna fight us, bitch. And the students like, we don't like that at all.
No.
And the teachers literally go, snap, snap, crackle, pop, fuck you, I don't care. So yeah, so for the finals, they had to fight their teachers, and they had to do it against teachers that would be like bad matchups for them.
Okay.
And the students were like, this fucking sucks. And the teachers were like, we know, dude. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Endeavor even looks like a trash heap.
Right? Yeah. But Best Jeanist looks amazing. He took Bakugo under the wing during his internship, and he's like, why did you even take me? And he's like, to make you less of a shit. Like, Best Jeanist has the ability to control fabric.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was like, literally, like, he's like, Bakugo, you have the potential to be a great hero if you stop being a fucking little shit. And Bakugo is like, say what? And he's like, this is... Oh my god, Bakugo. This is literally what I'm talking about. Someone get me hair gel and a comb. I'm gonna fucking fix this kid's hair. That's the start. Maybe it's just fucking warping his brain. He's fucking terrible. I hate him. I look at him and I'm like, you suck. So anyway, okay, so what am I saying? Oh, finals. Yeah, they're going against the teachers. You know, they're going up against Present Mike, and that's Earjack Girl and Talk to Animal guys who, until this point in the anime, literally has never said a word. He's just like, shrug. I know if you're watching the video of this, you can't see my arms, so shrug. Anyway, so President Mike is standing at the goal, and he's just screaming like, shut up! Come on! I wanna go home! Because he hates the nature, and the Earjack Girl's like, I can't do anything! Oh my god, he's so fucking loud, he's blowing up my eardrums. Coda, is there anything you could do? And Coda literally thinks about his mom. He goes, his mom is like jumping for joy. You made it to UA. I can't believe it. I'm so proud of you, Coda. You're so going to be a champion hero. I'm proud of you no matter what you do. And he's like, can't you do anything? And he's like, I can talk to Bugs. And he starts talking to Bugs. And she's like, you can fucking talk? It's been like 6 fucking months. And he starts going to the Bugs. He's like, hey guys, can you help me out? This guy fucking won't shut the hell up. And can you just help fucking fix it? And the Bugs, all in unison, march all the way across the forest in unison, hordes of them, and attack President Mike and just crawl over. And Mike passes out and faints because he hates bugs. The best one is Snipe. Snipe, like Weird McCree. Look at him.
Oh my god, he's awesome!
Is it not McCree?
Oh my god, he's like a cross between like McCree and Vincent Valentine a little bit.
I know, he's got a fucking gas mask. So anyway, he's going up against Shoji and Invisible Girl, right?
Okay.
Shoji is the weird guy who can like extend his arms to like see around corners and hear stuff. Mm-hmm. Right? And the reason I want to bring this up is it's the best fan service moment in anime. She's invisible. Remember that. Yeah. So they eventually sneak up. She sneaks up on him and cuffs him when he's distracting Snipe. And he's like, I guess you got me, partners. And his hand like goes like this and accidentally touches her breast.
Oh no.
And she's invisible because she got naked so he wouldn't see her. And she's like, Teacher Snipe! And he looks at her and his gas mask fucking wigs out. He's like, oh my god, it was an accident, you're invisible, I didn't even see it, oh my god, I can't believe I did that, oh my god, I'm so sorry, no, it was an accident, I was an accident. And she's like, you pervert! And slaps him. And that's the best fucking fan service in anime I have ever seen. I have seen some good fan service, but that was fucking ripe. Saro and Minata have they go up against Midnight. Midnight is this teacher. She can release a pheromone through her skin. So she, like, kind of, like, lets her skin show like I'm doing now. She used to dress way more provocatively, but they've made a law against it, despite the fact that it hinders her powers. I know, a legal excuse for fan service. I'm amazed. Anyway, so Sarah jumps in and stops him, and she makes him pass out. And Manata is like, that fucking Sarah, I could have been just resting in her boobs. Why the fuck did he do this? You dick. And he eventually tricks her into getting stuck and saves Sarah and everything like that. And everybody who treated him like a joke realized he actually is pretty cagey, but he's still a fucking awful fuckboy. Ojiro, the kangaroo boy, and Ida go up against the power loader, and I forget how they win. They just win. And Tokoyami, the bird boy, and Froppy go up against Ectoplasm. Ectoplasm is actually really cool. He's got a trench coat. He can create numerous duplicates of himself that all fire guns and shit and stuff like that. And, like, create a giant version of himself. All over the place. And they realize they can't beat him. They have to run. So they're using their powers to bounce off each other and help each other. And it's so cool, because if you're a fan of My Hero Academia, I guarantee you're going to be a fan of Sue Froppy. She is the best. Right? So they pass by... She swallows the handcuffs and barfs them out to slap them on his wrist to capture him, to win the thing. Because she can literally swallow objects and barf them out, and she's like, don't look, it's gross. I know. She's so sweet. Araka and Can't Stop Twinkling go up against 13, the black hole person, and they're like hanging by a rail, be like, I hate this test. God, what are we gonna do? And Twinkling guy goes, you're thinking of Midoriya, aren't you? You're thinking what he'd do. Do you have a crush on him? And Araka literally freaks out, and Midoriya's watching this. She's like, I wonder what they're talking about. She just freaked out, and she freaks out and like literally jumps in and drop kicks 13 in the face, knocking them out. And everybody's like, that was intentional. It was intentional. Kirishima, aka Red Riot and Sugar Rush, the guy who can eat sugar, they fought Cementos, and Cementos literally just kept making walls in front of them, preventing them from getting to him, and just tiring them out, so they failed. The next person who failed was Ashido, the slug girl, and Kaminari, the electric guy, because they had to go up against the hyper-intelligent principal, Nezu. This is the guy.
Oh my god, he's so cute!
He's drinking tea, and he's like, I never get to indulge my inner villain, but it's amazing, because I'm going to tell you right now, I have thought 47 moves ahead, and they can't win. And he just starts laughing with the tea shaking, and he's like, this is amazing! And they don't. They get stuck in the place they're trying to escape from. Let's see, we got Todoroki. Oh, yes. Okay, so Titty Girl, aka creation from her Titty Girl.
Is that what you want to call her?
And Icy Hot go up against Eraserhead. And this is a sweet moment because you see, like, Eraserhead is this really diligent, like, hard ass. But he knows the value of being a teacher isn't punishing your students, but getting them to learn. Todoroki takes charge and makes Momo, just further, like, I'm inept. I can't do anything. Todoroki gets captured by Eraserhead. And she comes up with a plan, right? And she frees Todoroki. She creates a bunch of Russian dolls, the egg dolls that you pull the egg. In them are flashbang grenades. She memorized the chemical composition of both the Russian doll and then within them put the chemical composition for a flashbang grenade and throws dozens of them in the air to blind him so he can't block their powers. And then she creates a cannon and pulls it out of her like arms and abdomen and stuff like that to shoot at him and stun him. And the cannon doesn't shoot a cannonball, it shoots the same material as his scarf, which basically is like this high tensile strength thing that can restrain people. And for a moment, he could have won, but he knew it was more important to let this young girl realize her own potential. And the teacher is like, you know you could have won. He goes, I know. But it was more important to let her know that she could win. And that's why Eraserhead is awesome.
Yeah.
Because he's only hard on people to teach them. And I fucking love this anime, Jack. I can't even...
Oh my god, yeah.
It's so good. Like, I will literally, after this podcast, probably watch it. Because I want to cry.
Okay. Well, if you guys are actually awake, I wouldn't mind at least watching a few episodes with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, and, okay, so the last teacher, is Midoriya and Bakugo against All Might. And All Might is a fucking LARPer. He's, like, putting on weights and stuff to hinder his power. And he's like, there's no way you're gonna beat me, heroes. And they're fighting on a city block, and Midoriya's like, Bakugo, we can't fucking win against them. And all the teachers are like, that's Midoriya's problem. He idol worships All Might. And because of that, he thinks All Might is a god that can't be defeated. But Bakugo's problem is he refuses to work with anyone and doesn't take anything seriously. They're going to fail this. They eventually begrudgingly work together. And in this moment, Bakugo is like, I'd rather die than fucking give up. And you find out that his entire thing, he's looked up to All Might because All Might always taught him that no matter what, there was a way to win if you were strong enough. And to lose means you weren't strong enough. And that's a valuable thing to learn from Bakugo's perspective. But Midoriya, after he realizes he could have ran and escaped without him, Midoriya unleashes a full-blown smash into All Might's face and stuns him. And All Might's like, holy fuck, that actually hurt. And Midoriya grabs Bakugo, who's unconscious, and leaps towards the finish line to escape. Because they realized they couldn't beat him, so they just had to run. Because that was the prerequisite. You could either run or beat the teacher.
Yeah.
And some did one and some did the other. But All Might smiles and he's like, I've never been prouder of him. Because he fanboy realized that I'm not a god. That when there's a will, there's a way. And because of that ends with season 2 ends with them getting ready to shop for the camping trip for season 3, which we haven't seen yet. But I read the manga, so I know what's going on. But when they're shopping, Mr. Handy comes in, and he puts his hand around Midoriya's throat from behind, and he's like, I want to have a chat. And Midoriya is alone, and Araka eventually comes in, and they're having, after their chat, I'll get to that. So they're having their chat, shopping for their summer gear, and everybody recognizes them from the summer games and shit. And he goes, why is it that everybody worships Stain? And Midoriya goes, because Stain had ideology. Stain stood for something. I don't agree with it, but people can relate to that. Stain, stood for something bigger than him. And he laughs and he's like, that's right. All this time, I've just been treating this like a game. And he's like gripping, if he holds 2 fingers on at the same time, he'll, he'll be able to freeze him. So he's like not doing it. He's making it, he wants to actually learn from Midoriya. Because they're arch enemies now. This is the thing. And, he's like, that's it. I have to stop treating this like a game. I have to treat it like something more. I have to kill the symbol of peace and hope to show the world that everything is bullshit. That everything they look up to is a lie. And he looks at him and he smiles and he's like, thank you for showing me the way. And Midoriya's like, that's not what I did. But cool. I'm gonna stop you. And Aracha comes up and Midoriya, without even hesitating, is like, I'm hanging out with a friend, you need to go now. You need to go. And the guy, it just chums up and he's like, don't worry, man, I'm leaving. And I loved our chat. And that's how the season ends, with his mom crying at the police station, worrying about his well-being. And All Might giving him a hug, being like, I'm sorry I wasn't there to protect you. And we're getting up to the manga, and I haven't seen any of Season 3 because I only watch dubs, and I'm a heathen, I know. But I work a lot. Guys, if you're listening to the podcast, Getting the Great Fox and The Backlamp work endlessly to provide content such as Drunk Fandom, The Last Light Campaign, our Twitch channel, Dungeon Minis comic, Beelzebub as well. A little backlogged on that, and I'm sorry at the time of writing this, or recording this. I realize I'm not writing this. Am I writing this? It'd be really meta if I was. But I listen to a lot of animes. I don't get to watch a lot, so yeah, no. Anywho.
Okay, a couple of quick questions.
Yes.
It was Midori's mom that...
Midori, yes. Deku's mom, yes. She went to the police station and she was like, I was so worried about you. Like, so, look, I'm gonna Deku's mom. Look at her. This is old her, and this is old her. Oh my god. Why is it not showing? This is old her. Right? See how she's really thin and young and everything like that? And this is her if she's middle-aged.
Oh my god, she's so precious.
Isn't she?
Oh my god.
Isn't she? I forgot to talk about it. When he got accepted, she actually was the one who got his costume pre-designed. She's like, I'm sorry I never believed in you. I know it was a mistake.
I'm actually gonna cry.
I know. Hold on. I'm holding on to Wombat. Yeah. She was like, I'm so sorry I never believed in you. I was so wrong. But when you showed your quirk, I knew you could do it. So I sent your costume design to the costume people, and they approved it when you got accepted. So here's your costume.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, his mom is a fucking sweet pea.
Oh
and
my god.
I know, she's so realistic and I love her.
So, before you go on to the manga, there was a question I wanted to ask.
Yes, ask any questions.
Okay, so you mentioned that there was a reason why Fuckboy was acting that way, and why he
you actually find it out in 3.
Okay.
But I can explain it now. I can explain it now because
it
doesn't actually have anything to do with the
I was going to ask, like, if, you know, like, at what point do we find
I think you find it out in Season 2. I can't remember because I remember an anime scene.
Yeah.
When they were kids, Bakugo was always the leader.
Yeah.
And after he found out Deku had no powers, Deku still wanted to be his friend. And Bakugo kept bullying people and everything like that. Despite that, Deku saw the good in Bakugo. Which he does have some good. He doesn't want to be a villain. He wants to be a hero. He wants to do right by people. He wants to be the strongest, but he doesn't want to hurt people. He wants to stop bad guys. He wants people to know that he's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
When they were kids, he fell off a bridge and got concussed and hurt his head. And all of his other superpowered friends didn't do anything to stop him. Deku, without hesitation, without powers, jumped down at the cost of his own well-being and offered his hand out like that. And it was like... He was like, are you okay? I saw you hit your head. I just want to make sure you're okay. It was at that moment he started bullying Deku because he was like, who is this loser to worry about me? I'm strong. If I'm not strong, what am I? And that's his mindset. And actually, you find out in the manga and later on, you find out his mom is oh my god, his mom's a cougar, by the way. Well, let me see if I can find a picture of his mom. Bakugo. Mom. Look at her. Yeah, look at her. Okay, so, like, he's so aggressive, but his mom is also aggressive, and so is his dad. She's like, oh, he's full of himself. He needs a fucking reality check. He ain't special shit. I love you, son, though. And his father's like, oh, stop fucking cursing and calling the boy ain't special. He's fucking great. But also, he ain't shit. And the son is like, y'all ain't shit. And then All Might is like, oh my god, I understand now.
I get this. I get this.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
exactly.
It's like, I've had that moment with people where I'm like, why are you like this? And then I'll have like one moment where everything falls into place. And, it's like,
and when you see his mom and everything, and oh my god, his mom. So his mom has the power of, like, a nitroglycerin sweat. That's why she looks so good at an older age, because it keeps her skin preserved and everything. Mm-hmm. And his father has the fire powers, so they bled perfectly into the perfect explosive child.
So is it, I'm sorry to interrupt again, but, like, so...
No, don't. You're the interviewer. Look at me.
Okay,
Look at me. You're interviewing. Ask your questions.
Okay.
I am the lore master. The drunken lore master, so let me answer this shit.
Okay, so you mentioned before about, like, with Icy Hot, how there's that thing where, for a little while, there were some douchebags that tried to do, like, specific breeding and arranged marriages, like, for...
Yeah.
So is it guaranteed that your child, if they have a quirk, will be a mixture of the two parents?
It's not 100%. It is not 100% guaranteed.
Okay.
But it is, in fact, like a 95 percentile. So if you were to play the lottery at that odds, unless you were Gideon the Grey Fox with his Hearthstone losses and sold, you would fucking win.
Okay.
Watch me on Twitch as I suffer endlessly.
You good there, buddy?
I'm drunk and I've needed this. We're gonna take a quick break, but I've needed this, so this is fun. Thank you.
No problem. I'm glad that we're doing this.
Okay. I got it.
Okay.
So now we're up to season 3, which, by the way, gets some of my favorite fucking characters involved. The Pussycats.
The Pussycat, like Josie and the Pussycats?
Oh, it's better than that. It's fucking better.
Okay.
I'm so excited about talking about this because Batclam hasn't even read the mangas, and I bugged her to do it, but she's like, I'm busy, and I'm like, I know, because you work tirelessly, and everybody, if you're watching this at the time of this video, Batclam is a treasure, and if you ever meet her in real life, ask first. Don't just do it. Just be like, Batclam, would you like a hug? And then give her a hug. And then tell her,
if she says
sorry,
yes,
that was my fave.
If she says yes, I would like a hug, give her a hug. If
Basically,
she says, I'm okay right now, don't just hug her. That's weird.
So the Pussycats are 3 women and a dude. Look at that dude. And he wears a dress like them. They're like 4 cat-themed magical girl superheroes. So what happens is, the summer vacation retreat, basically everyone who failed the midterm, or failed the final, has to do remedial classes. They still get to go on the trip, but they have to do extra work. The other heroes basically get to just, do the regular work.
Okay.
So what happens is, this retreat is to get them practice for their license to use their powers outside of the school and everything like that. So, like, in case of an emergency, if they saw a crime, they could be like, nah, brah. I'm a fucking hero in training.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was gonna say, so is it almost like a permit when you...
Yeah, it's like a driver's permit.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, so the 4 Pussycats, I can't remember their names, but the dude is my favorite because he gives no fuck about gender.
Yeah,
Okay,
awesome.
there's Shira Sasaki, what is...
Mandalay.
I don't remember what her power is. They all have powers. What are their powers? One of them had, like, psychic powers. The big dude guy, right here. Look, he even wears the skirt. He gives 0 fucks. I love it. He actually is the muscle of the team. Mm-hmm. One has, like psychic tail. Communication. Yeah. So, they go on this trip, and they're basically taught to, listen, all of you have amazing powers, but you have limits. The purpose of this trip is to teach you how to overcome those limits and gain strength. Just like working out at a gym. You break past your limits, your muscles reknit, and you get stronger. That's what the goal here is. So, like, Sugar Rush, for example, has to consume a bunch of sugar and last longer than 5 minutes. The lightning guy has to last longer before his brain shorts out. Todoroki, Icy Hot, has to, like, keep his hands in boiling hot water while he ices up so he can, like, build it. like fuckboy needs to like increase the strength of his glands so his sweat can do. Midori has like everybody has to do more.
Yeah.
But they get to like cook their own meals and eat. It's like a summer vacation where they're working really hard to push past the limitations. And at this time, the League of Villains has recruited more people. Then in season 2, you see like, I'm a knife fuck girl. I like to just fuck people with knives and be all interested in blood. And this other guy has a bunch of stitches, and he's like, yo, girl, you extra. Like, I just kind of do my thing, but you gotta stop being so fucking extra. You gross. You're gross. You and your blood fetish is gross. And she's like, thank you. And she's like, that's not a thank you moment. This is a you're fucking gross moment. Yes, this kid is like, heroes suck. And all the people are like, heroes are amazing. Heroes save the world. It's like, yeah, but villains wouldn't exist without heroes. And that same old argument would be like, no, if people had power and they could fuck everything up, they would do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know how in every DC comic, there were never any supervillains before the superheroes. It's like, just wait an extra 6 months and there you go. Now you're in slave shackles because villains are dicks. Mm. You know why you don't have mass horribleness? Because Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, Wonder Woman are a thing.
Lopan, Superman, every single Power Ranger.
What?
It's from Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. I apologize.
Basically. I thought you were talking shit about Superman. I'm like, you don't talk shit about my boy.
I do, all the time.
Alright, so the Pussycats take care of this kid called Horned Hat. And they have, like, a bath session, you know, the cliche anime bathhouse thing. And apparently in the anime, I haven't seen the episode, but, like, every guy is, like, looking at Bakugo like, yum. Especially Crimson Riot, he's like... And we're all like, gay? Yes? Ship? We're sailing on that gay fanfic ship. And so while they're doing their whole, like, training thing, eventually the League of Villains attacks. They've recruited a bunch of people because they're, like, looking at the heroes and be like, you know, we need some extra help. So one of the guys they recruit literally extends their teeth and, like, just kind of, like, walks with their teeth and shit, being like, na 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 na. And then there's Blood Girl, Stitch Face, Magic Mike, who fucking teleports people using magic and turns them into little balls, and they cause some damage. And one is like Gas Goon, and he makes everybody gassy. And balls. Yeah, like the villains attack, and I'm just finishing this up because I don't want to spoil too much shit. But it's fucking stupid. Like, some of their villains, like the teeth guy, like, he extends his teeth, his canines and his molars, and no, his buck teeth. Mm-hmm. What are the two front teeth called? It's not buck teeth. Buck teeth is when they have a gap, or when they're just giant like beaver teeth. Alright, you know what? We're gonna call this guy Beaver Teeth, Beaver Mouth. So Beaver Mouth is like really legit somehow. And walking around with his teeth, and everybody's looking up at him like, really, this guy?
Incisors.
Thank you, incisors. Incisors guy. Incisor lad. And, you know, they beat the villains, and the teacher's like, don't fight back, run. And all the students are like, no, fuck that. Fuck all of this. We wanted a summer break. Fuck villains. And then they just start attacking people and shit. And Crimson Riot's buddy, Steel Riot, I don't even know his name, is like, I'm a hero too, Steel Riot punch, and punches Gas Guy and a bunch of other shit. And it's great. And then eventually they end up, like, Bird Boy Shadow Edgelord kind of loses his shit because he's tired of villains fucking everything up. And his bird form, which is like a literal evil thing that he keeps under control, is like, so, brah, I'm gonna cut out. And, like, this is him talking to his bird navel thing. And he's like, no, you're not. Like, we're kind of attached. He's like, no, it's cool. I'm just gonna go out at night in the club. Not in the club for you, bird fuck, means you gonna kill some people. You gonna kill some people? No. And just imagine that this is being portrayed by Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key.
Okay.
You're imagining it, aren't you?
Yes.
Right? Like their valet skit.
I was just about to go Val Kilmer's. Like,
Yes.
I love that.
Love Jake Coles.
They're amazing.
You know, television is lesser for their loss.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I still haven't seen Get Out. I own it, but I want to watch it.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Is it?
It's so good. There's a couple of things that I wish he hadn't done, because I feel it does detract from it a little bit, like little choices and stuff that he made, but like it detracts mostly from like the atmosphere, not the story. But yeah, it is really good. I saw it in the theater twice.
Shit, I gotta watch it. It's just like I don't do movies so well, so you never see me talking about movies. Anyway, okay, so like
Is that my hero?
so what happens here?
Yes. I'm sorry.
The villains kidnap Bakugo because they're like, this guy's totally unfucking hinged. We're gonna make a villain out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And all the heroes are like, no, he's a hero. And then like, there's probably that one hero that's like, really? Or I'm gonna be real. Really? That's okay. I'll play along. I'll play along for this. And they kidnap him, and Midori, you know, Deku's like really upset, and he's like, I know he hates me, but we gotta rescue him. And all the heroes at the teacher's like, yeah, we gotta rescue him. This was our bad. And all the students, the teachers go to the students and like, don't try and rescue him. We got this. And the students, like a couple of them are like, no, I'm not gonna bother with this. I mean, it's not our place. And all the students, the other students, like create a titty. I can't remember her name. Momo, who creates stuff out of her titties.
Creative.
Like literally, she pulls it out of her cleavage. And I'm like, fan service, looks like anime, acts like fan service. It's fucking fan service. Alright, wow, I'm at peak drunk levels.
Yeah.
I'm at plus ultra drunk levels, I love it.
You can do it though, let's go.
I got it.
Got this.
So,
I believe in you.
they bug her to help, like Crimson Riot, and I love him because he's like, listen, I know you all hate Bakugo, but I know at a deep down level, he's a good guy, and like he wants to do what's right. He's got his head up his ass, and I'm just the gay man that's gonna make him not have that up his ass. I'm gonna have something else up his ass. We're gonna get married, man. And then all the Yao girls rejoiced. And that was that, with that part. But yeah, they go undercover to try and like find out clues to where he is.
Mm-hmm.
And this is important because Crimson Riot buys a camera to like record shit and find out where he is. And I'll tell you why, because this shows the growth of Bakugo. Eventually they find out about like him being in there, right? He's the heroes and the students all find out about this big plot. So it turns out there's a factory making nomus, like a warehouse full of nomus, the people with the multiple quirks, including one of the pussycats that was kidnapped during the villain assault on the summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the heroes are like trying to strike at the villain's lair and not realizing that the warehouse is the main thing. And they're at the warehouse. The students are hiding. Like Ida, Crimson Riot, Create a Titty, Momo, thank you. Her outfit is so distracting, guys. I'm sorry. I don't mean to demoralize, but like, Give them realistic outfits, please.
Yeah. And
It's
and
so
being
stupid.
distracting in the this
You
is
saw her
very
outfit.
obvious.
I showed it to you, right?
Yes.
She's 14.
Yeah, it's
gross.
Yeah, you
It's
mean
gross.
it's distracting in the this is gross way, not
She's
in
14. It's gross.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I googled this. They're all 14.
Because you're drunk, I'm trying to clarify that for you.
She doesn't look like she's 14, guys.
No, she does
yeah,
not.
it's gross. Japan has different standards. Okay, so they're hiding behind a wall at the warehouse, and the warehouse is like, oh shit. Here, Best Genius and a couple other people, like, strike simultaneously. All Might is, like, beating up villains, and they all disappear, and All Might rushes to the other location that they could be at. And Midoriya, Ida, Crimson Riot, Icy Hot, and Titty Creator is there. And Momo, thank you. And they're like, oh shit, shit's about to go down. And there's a man in a suit with a weird giant mask. It's All Might's arch nemesis. He's wearing a mask, but it's him.
Okay.
It's All for One, the man who wants every power for himself because he's kind of a selfish prick. He's like the 1% made into a supervillain, or also known as the 1%. Yeah. Okay, because they're dicks. You know what you're doing. Anyway,
Okay.
so just in time, All Might gets to there, and he's running on fumes. And All Might is like, one of the other heroes, Best Genius, fucking All for One, kills him. He's like, I don't even need your power. Flick. And just impales him with his tendrils. And All Might is like, 5 years ago we almost finished this. I'm gonna finish it today. And he's like, 5 years ago you just left me maimed. You couldn't even finish the job. You're sure as fuck not gonna finish it now. And all the kids are like watching this unfold, like behind the scenes. Neither of the villains or the heroes notice them there. They're hiding. And All Might, this is the moment, and this is like one of the best moments. I can't wait to see this in the anime because the music's gonna be incredible, the acting's gonna be incredible. All Might's running on fumes. It turns out that he didn't tell Midoriya this, but when he offered to give his powers away, there was a time limit involved. Eventually he was going to run out of juice. Meaning he's on the last leg of his powers. He's a burning ember that's about to go out.
Which is why he was pushing him so hard.
To be a better hero, because he knew
Yeah.
that it was not going to be long. And All Might, he starts getting in there, man. He starts fucking fighting.
Okay.
He starts fighting All for One, no matter what the odds. And he starts losing his powers during the fight. And All for One is laughing at him, being like, the Emperor of all, One for All was going out on you. You fool, you gave your powers away. And you still think you can beat me? And All Might, the world is looking at him. Newscopters and everything are looking at him. And he reverts back to his main form that he can't keep. And everybody's like, that's All Might? What happened to All Might? And I'm tearing up because it's just so beautiful to see, like, people give people a chance, man. That's the beauty of this anime.
You're gonna make me cry.
I know,
feel it right
I'm
now.
legit crying. I know it sounds stupid, but
No.
it means something to me.
Like, but that's the thing. That's
The
part of why
world
we do
starts
this
chanting,
podcast.
we believe in you, All Might.
Oh my god.
You can do this. Midoriya stands out. They try and catch Bakugo. Midoriya goes to Crimson Riot. You have to be the one to save him. He won't come to me. He can't stand me, and it doesn't matter. All that matters is making him safe. Because without him being safe, All Might can't finish this. So, Ida, the speed guy, runs, and Icy Hot creates a ramp, and he runs on the ramp and jumps up, and Crimson Riot offers his hand out to Bakugo, who's fighting the other villains. And Bakugo sees his friend, the one friend he made, and he grabs his hand without hesitation. And they teleport out. They get out of there. And All Might realizes he doesn't have to hold back anymore. And he just goes all out. And with one arm, all of his strength goes in that one arm, and he just starts punching them and hiding attacks from All for One. And All for One goads him and says, you know, the Mr. Handy, I can't remember his name.
Mm-hmm.
That's the grandson of the woman who gave you your powers. I took your mentor's child, their grandchild, and I made them hate you. Because I hate you. And even if I lose this, which I won't, I know that the person that you would want to care for you the most fucking despises you.
Is that why they took on Baku? I mean, not Baku. Deku?
No, Baku.
No. Like his
the hand
his
guy.
mentor. Like
Yeah.
because All Might, like before you said that All Might was like, oh my god, I'm fucking up, and that's why like he hasn't taken on an apprentice.
Yeah, he was
years.
looking for an apprentice the whole time. He realized his time was running out and he needed to find someone.
Oh.
And so he found Deku. And
No. I mean. All
he didn't know about this guy being his mentor's grandson because she had actually wanted to keep her family out of this life. She died to One for All. He killed her.
And,
I believe. I might be misremembering because I'm drunk.
And is that why she decided to take on Deku?
Yeah, that's why All Might decided to take on Deku because he saw a bit of himself in him.
No. All Might's the woman who died, whose grandson. Is that why she
took on All Might? She's the one who gave her power to All Might. She was preceding All Might.
Oh, well, I thought before when you said about the internships that she...
No, her friend Gran Torino trained All Might.
Okay,
Yeah,
it was her friend.
Because she
she
died and he was like, he's the next hope.
Oh,
We need him to do it. So in honor of his mentor, he made the world a better place. And they're fighting and his powers are waning, and like even in the manga you see like a naked All Might in his base form holding a flame that's flickering, that he doesn't have much time, and the world just starts chanting All Might, All Might, All Might, and in one attack he channels every last bit of strength he has into the United States of Smash and punches All for One out in one hit and knocks him out. And then that's it. He can't even hold his form for like 2 seconds. He like collapses on the ground and the world sees him for who he is. And he points to Midoriya. He sees what he did. And he says, it's your turn now. You have to do this. I can't anymore. And it makes me tear up because it's such a great story about like a person giving his strength to the next generation. It's like fatherhood. And he goes to every student, every teacher, every student's parents, and he apologizes for failure about how he couldn't protect their kids at UA, and he promises that no matter what, that this won't happen again. And Deku's mom is like, I can't let him be at this school anymore. Too many accidents happen. And Deku said, no, it doesn't matter. Oh, I forgot. When Deku was fighting, he fought a person who killed the Hat Kid's parents. And he fought him to a standstill, even with all of his thing, and broke his arm beyond repair. Like, if he broke it one more time, it's not going to repair right. He broke it to save this kid. And the kid realized that heroes were a good thing. Because villains, no matter the heroes, will always be dicks. And he goes to his mom and he says, this kid wrote a letter to me for saving his life. It doesn't have to be UA, but I'm not giving up on my dream. I'm gonna be a hero. And All Might gets down on his hands and knees and goes, it's my fault. Everything has been my fault. I am a bad teacher, and I'm gonna be better. And I will die before I let your son ever have any harm come to him like that. And his mother holds All Might, and she says, you don't have to die. You have to live for my son. He looks up to you. You saved the world. You saved everyone. You need to be there for my son so he can be the hero he wants to be. And only then will I be okay with this. And so he gets to continue, and then they do a little dorm arc where everybody forgives each other and has a powwow, and we're caught up. And I'm excited because there's a little bit more. I haven't read volume 11. There's more mangas out. You know, they're catching up in English, but this is the first anime in a while I've been like truly excited about, because you know what? It's taught me that it's okay for the main hero to be sad and cry. It's it's okay for everybody to be who they need to be. And, you know, shout out to the pervy creator despite all that. And, you know, if you don't like Superman, you'll love All Might, because he's basically Superman, but
I do love All Might.
he's got heart. That scene where he goes up against Nomu knowing all well he could die, and just beats the shock absorption out of him, knowing that at the end of this he's not going to be right again, to save kids. It's what a hero's all about. And I heroes and superheroes and stuff like that, it always meant a lot to me seeing that. Because you know what's really great? A lot of people I know will say this, and without realizing it, morals don't come from people. Morals come from fiction. And it's okay that it does, because at the end of the day, I learned a lot more about being a better person from people like Luke Skywalker, Superman, Spider-Man, than I ever did from any real person. Because despite all their flaws, they tried to do what was right in the end. And that's why I like My Hero Academia, because it's all about that. It's about being the best that you can be despite your flaws. Despite your bullies, you try and do what's right. So, yeah, I've got a little emotional there. So why don't you tell me what you learned about My Hero Academia, aside from wanting to watch it?
Yeah, because I really do. God, I learned that... Like, here's the thing, like, I feel like, in a weird way, I feel like I learned more about humanity than I did the show. If that makes any sense. Like, there were so many things I just, as you were explaining things about characters that, like, hit way too close to home sometimes. And, you know, it's like, like, yeah, okay, like, the really gross shit about the anime aside, like, oh, man, like, this, God, like, I can't even put into words, like, now that you've told me about it. Like,
I had that effect on me.
It's why we always tune in every weeknight to see your streams. But yeah, I'll try to sum it up. I learned that there's this really awesome kid who has this big dream, and he might even be a little bit afraid that that's never gonna happen, but he keeps trying despite all of that, and despite all of the people telling him it's never gonna happen. And then one day, it does. And he, because of the belief that he has in himself, and, you know, the support of everybody around him, he does the thing, and that's great. And his whole life changes, and, like, stops being bad, and, like, you know, like, he's so confused when people like him and start, like, going against Baku, because he was, like, so used to, you know, Baku just being, like, a huge dick to him. And I think that in and of itself, like, yeah, okay, it might not have been okay for them to bully Baku, even though Baku was a dick, but, like, but I think that is also a very important lesson that, you know, the bullshit isn't forever. And if you keep going, you know, things are gonna change. And yeah, it's just, I really want to watch this now.
And we're gonna,
yeah.
like, immediately after
yes.
this, because I'm an addict.
Okay.
But that's been Drunk Fandom episodes 5. I was going to say 05 because I'm drunk. And My Hero Absinthe. Join us next time for Drunk Fandom episode 6, Grogzilla. Oh no. There goes Tokyo. Go, go, go. Grogzilla. And I won't be part of that episode, but I'm excited because one of our good friends, Ninja Bush, is going to be explaining Godzilla's lore to Batclam. And I'm going to listen in. I'm going to be like...
I'm excited.
Kaiju.
I know nothing about Godzilla.
Right? This is going to be great. It'll make me want to watch Godzilla. But thank you so much, Wombat, for joining me and bearing with my drunken inebriatedness.
No, that's fine. Thank you for introducing me to this awesome, awesome thing.
It's like the one good anime out of the last 3 years, if I have to be honest. Because I'm a perfectionist.
I'll take your word for it.
All right, and see you later.
Bye.
Bye.